I'm Lauren Honickman, lawyer and former City TV's legal specialist. And the following episode of FOTMCast is intended for real heads only. If you're not deeply immersed in the TMU, a devout FOTM, do not listen. I'm not kidding. Stop playing this episode now.
Somehow our innocence is lost.
A little flat on innocence, but other than that, it was great. We'll go again. Huh?
Mm-hmm. One more time.
Somehow our...
That's my sound, man.
Stu Stone.
Yeah.
Who's Stu Stone?
Combing the depths of the TMU for a quarterly review of fact checks, figures, and phrases that you didn't know you needed. It's FOTMcast with your hosts, Toronto Mike, Cam Gordon, and Tyler Campbell.
I had a dream I was your hero. Damn, I wish I was your lover. I'd rock you till the daylight comes. When you are smiling and warm.
Welcome to episode 1774. 74, that's our birth year, VP.
It is.
Of Toronto Mike.
What a year it was.
Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Blue Sky Agency, the official distributor of Silen's quiet, comfortable, and customizable office pods. Create sanctuary within your workspace. Nick Iannis, the host of Building Toronto Skyline and Building Success, two podcasts you ought to listen to. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Today, I guess you already said this part, right? In the opening part. I'm going to do it again.
Do it again.
Returning for this 7th FOTMcast. It's Cam Gordon and the VP of Sales, Tyler Campbell. Woo!
Sophie B.
You know, this is a good part of the song you don't always get to. It's kind of nestled in there,
yeah.
But
Like the breakdown. Nice, yeah, little middle 8 break.
Love it. How are you guys doing? Let's start with you, VP, since you got here first. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, thank you. It's been nice hanging out with you and Morgan while we prepped for the show. Great to see you both.
Good job on this. We should let the listenership know. You put this opening theme together. We were talking about what should it be, and we've decided there will be a song from each quarter that will be used for the opening theme. And
that's right.
This is the Sophie B. Hawkins song, Damn, I Wish I Were Your Lover.
Very appropriate.
And that's a song from this past quarter. I know you're about to explain what we're doing here, but I want to know how the hell my good friend, FOTM Hall of Famer, you're also an FOTM Hall of Famer, Tyler, but how are you doing, Cam Gordon?
Yeah, all good here. Just rolled in
like
through rush hour.
Put you on suicide watch over here.
No, I'm just collecting my thoughts. Yeah.
Trigger warning.
No, I'm all good. Thank you. Just like I said, we do this, 4 times a year, and I must say, like, I was sort of saying when I was texting you guys, every quarter it seems to get that much harder to get over here by TTC and more obstacles.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, that's okay. I'm kind of used to it, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, always good to be here, and I don't take for granted every not only being able to do this, but just every quarter that we have.
What did you two think of the cold open?
Lauren
Honickman.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was good. I like it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what the hell are we doing here, Tyler? Set us up. What is FOTMcast?
I hope that everyone heeded Lauren's very stern warning So if you're not a real head, then please turn this episode off. Go listen to, I don't know, fucking something else. You know?
Toronto Legends.
Toronto Legends. There you go. That's what you should listen to if you're not a real head.
The Pagan podcast.
So, like, to reiterate what Tyler just said, like, this is our 7th FOTMcast, and we're not
almost 2 years we've been doing
That's
this.
right.
Yeah, we're not fooling around anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a
My
quarterly
gosh.
episode for real heads only, and to be blunt, and I say this, I look at the download numbers. Ian Service has given me this analytics portal. The download numbers for the last FOTMcast were just too damn high.
Really?
Just too damn
can
high.
you give us a sense of what that number is?
In my opinion, I won't be too specific, but I feel like there are non-diehard listeners that are tuning in to FOTMcast. And I feel like if you're not fully immersed in the TMU, you should not listen to FOTMcast.
So basically, unless we achieve record low numbers, this
We're
whole
canceled. We're
exercise
canceled.
is a complete failure.
I'm staying up all night refreshing the analytics page from Ian Service. And if I see the number of downloads for this episode of FOTMcast, if I see it exceed 100, not 100,000,
Wow. Yeah.
if it gets greater than 100,
Yeah.
I honestly think I'm going to blow this up and start again. Like we did something wrong.
But is it the case, Mike, that anyone who is already subscribed to the show would be counted as a download?
Depends on your podcast app.
I was going to
and how
say,
it's
yeah,
configured.
subscribers.
Because we might be sunk already, you know.
Well, okay, I hope not. But I do want to say hello to the real heads who have joined us on the live stream, live.torontomike.com. That is, of course, Andy. She's a real head. I'm glad she's there. Ian Service, who we already mentioned, definitely a real head. Canada Kev, now that's a real head. And Leslie, who I just saw. I saw Canada. I did not see Canada Kev, but I saw Andy and I saw Leslie and I saw you two at TMLX 20 last week. It was good to see you there.
Yeah,
it was a great time.
This might be my low-key fave TMLX event. I sort of like the timing, sort of after Labor Day, everyone's back from summer vacation.
Smaller crowd.
Yeah.
Smaller crowd.
No
intimate.
live recordings, so you just kind of hang. We were capped at 40 people at GLB Brew Pub, so thank you to Great Lakes for hosting us.
Yeah.
They are going to be sending beer over to Palma's Kitchen for TMLX 20, and we have a date for that. It is November 29th, the last Saturday of November at noon. That's happening, and everybody listening, of course, that's less than 100 people, but everybody listening is invited. I would love to have more real heads at TMLX 20 in Mississauga on November 29. Did you have a good time at TMLX 20, Tyler?
I had a great time. It's always good to see fellow FOTMs, real heads or not. Had a nice catch up with Larry, our mutual friend Larry,
who had an episode this past quarter.
Oh shit! Like the Scott Thompson.
Yes.
Oh my god! What does Larry look like?
He's a tall man.
He's very tall.
Has a beard or like a goatee.
He's a handsome man.
Did he leave a bit early?
He did.
I mean, he told me it was the first time him and his wife had been downtown in some time.
Yeah. Oh. He was sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay,
but Arlene, his wife, who was also there, and they're both lovely people, she's the one who actually is the Scott Thompson manager, agent? I don't know what the term is. But absolutely, we will talk more Larry.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
So, Tyler, here's what I want to do, because I know this could be a very long episode, because lots to get into. But I just want to, as succinctly as we can, I want to tell the tale, and Cam, you'll have to do a lot of listening here, because you weren't at either event. But Tyler and I went to 2 concerts at the Budweiser stage.
That's right.
Or, sorry, the Freshwater stage.
Freshwater.
Yeah, we're calling it the Freshwater stage. We were at Neil Young, and then we were at The Who.
That's right.
And this is not like we bought 2 tickets to go together. Like, I just got a ticket, I rode my bike over, and you also were there riding your bike over, and we're like, let's hang out for these. But I'm hoping maybe you'll pick it up, because people are probably tired of my voice, because it's on every episode of Toronto Mike. But I want to hear from you the interesting TMU tale that spins out of the Neil Young concert.
Sure.
And then we want to hear about this TMU tale. I don't think Cam's going to even believe it. That spins out of the Who concert we attended.
That's right. Some great times. And first of all, I'll say it's always a pleasure. I'm very glad to be co-hosting the show with both of you, because this is not like a Tom Cheek and Jerry Howarth situation where it's like they're on the air together and then they go their separate
secretly
ways.
hate each other.
You know, like we
Siskel and Ebert.
We hang out socially. It's we enjoy each other's company. So this is something that we enjoy doing, and we sometimes go to shows together.
Set your watch to it.
Can I crack open a Great Lakes
yes, I would
while
like
I listen to these
I would
tales?
like to do that as well, actually.
Okay, on the mic, please, VP.
2, 3. Oh yeah.
Okay, cheers to you two
Cheers.
gentlemen. Okay, pick it up.
Cheers.
So
Yes.
you and I find ourselves at Neil Young.
At Neil Young, we're on the lawn, sort of at the very back, and we're hanging out. Langer is there.
Key part of this story.
Yes,
Big name.
and so
Langer went 20 for 20. He attended his 20th TMLX event last week.
that's right. And when we say Langer, we're speaking of Michael Lang,
the guy who put on Woodstock.
That's right, the guy who put on Woodstock, veteran
Jim's
of the
brother.
TMU. Good guy. He and I have a bit of a sort of a kayfabe rivalry in the
Which I love, by the way. It's it's one of the more enjoyable aspects
good
of the
running
team.
game.
Yeah,
It's great.
But the secret is that we're actually pals.
Well, this story will speak to
Yeah.
that.
So we're having a good time. Neil's on. He's playing. In the meantime, you have sort of walked over because we've realized that our other friends from the
I said
TMU
tell the story, and I realized I actually want to tell the story. So we're going to both tell the story. One is that. So the three of us are together watching Neil Young. It is me, it is you, VP,
We
and
have
it is
established
Langer.
this, yes.
Okay, I know.
And what
I'm
is
on,
our-
I checked my phone to learn from our not-so-secret FOTM WhatsApp group that two gentlemen are also on the lawns together, Canada Kev and Andrew Ward.
That's right.
And I decide I'm good. I think I knew where they were. They said where they were, and I said, "Oh, that's just
They're
over
very
here."
close to us.
I said, "I left us three to go find them to bring them to us, so we would become 5 FOTMs."
Pack
a
of
unit.
5. That's right.
Sure.
So that's what I did. I brought them over.
The
Take
great
it away,
uniter.
VP. Take it away.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
So-
the great connector.
That's right. So we're standing there enjoying Neil, and Andrew Wardo, pulls out a little container containing some marijuana cigarettes, if I may say, and offers spliffs, if you will. Yeah. And very kindly, very generous of him. He
cigarettes,
offers them around.
What a mensch.
Not just passing a single joint around, but offering a full joint
A full joint was offered to all three
to
of us.
each of us. Yes.
You took one.
I did take one, yes.
Langer took one.
Langer took one.
And I politely declined. I
passed.
was enjoying a
Yeah.
IPA, and I didn't
You're
feel
high
I
on
needed.
life.
I was
You were
high
good.
on
You were
Neil.
good.
Yeah.
I was smoking Neil that
That's
night.
right.
Okay.
So, we're enjoying the night. We're enjoying Neil. We're enjoying the marijuana cigarette. The doobie, as Andy has said.
we
in
were
his
just a bunch of doobie brothers.
Yeah. And I look over and some sort of it was during a very quiet song, and these paramedics started coming through and their walkies are just squawking, and so I was a little annoyed because come on, like let's
because you were behind me.
yeah let's
You were cradling me.
that's right. Let's respect the atmosphere here and
Spooning,
like maybe
or-
turn these walkies down.
Sure.
We were swaying.
Yeah. So
to
they
Neil.
sort of brush past me, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see a little commotion.
Yeah.
And there's a group of paramedics around someone who is down on the ground.
Right.
And I noticed that person is wearing a Tea Party t-shirt.
That's a giveaway. There's only one man that can
Well, and I was about to turn to Langer and say, hey, there's another guy wearing a Tea Party shirt down on the ground.
Like,
and
just to clarify, the band, not the political movement of
yes,
that gave us
yeah,
Trumpism.
Sarah Palin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I turned to Langer to say, hey, there's another guy in a Tea Party shirt who's down, and he was not there. And that was when I realized it was Langer who was down on the ground.
So I'm in the front, maybe because I'm the shortest, and I'm enjoying my Neil Young, and then I kind of hear Tyler say something about it's Langer or something, and then I look over and I see Langer's. Yeah, he's sitting on the ground with his back against the fence, and there are paramedics treating him. Like Langer's down.
He was down.
So this is right at the top of the hill.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
right next to
knoll,
the
the
Yeah, because
grass
he's
right
against
next to the
he's
Aperol
against the
bar.
fence. Right.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, right.
Okay.
But
Very
I
good.
got to say this about the wonderful VP of sales who I'm looking at right now. He didn't hesitate. Neil was kicking ass, and VP said, I'm going to Langer's side.
Well, yeah.
He went directly to Langer.
Yeah, as I would hope any of us would do
course. You know
for
what?
any other.
I would have done it, but you were there, and I said, okay, Langer's got somebody with
Yeah.
him, and I kept an eye on it as I continued to sway to the music.
Yeah. So Langer, I think it was the excitement of the night. He had a couple of drinks. The weed from Wardo was powerful. This was not sort of your bunk neighborhood weed. This was like medical grade.
Could have been the
shit.
Willie Nelson. Could
Yeah,
have been the wine.
exactly.
Who
Who's to say?
knows?
Who's to
Who
say?
knows?
So Langer, they help Langer to his feet, and he's sort of standing there leaning against the back fence. And I'm sort of saying, are you okay? Are you all right? And he's like, yeah, I think so. I'm just, you know.
But at this point, to interject myself into the story, is that I can see now, Langer's on his feet. And I'm like, oh, good. He had a little water.
Yeah, he'll be
better.
okay.
He's going to come back and enjoy Neil Young with us.
And at that point, Langer went down again.
Langer went down again. And I witnessed Langer going down.
And when you say down, was this like...
The knees buckle.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so,
he
you know
hits the
those
ground.
toys where like you hit the bottom and like this, like with the elastic and they go, whoa.
Exactly.
Sort of like that.
Yeah, very much so.
Kind of wobbly.
Yeah. And at that point, the paramedics are like, that's it. We're taking him
They
to the
called
medical
it.
tent.
They said time of death. Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home.
So at that point, it's a caravan through. They're making way through the crowd because it's a big crowd on the lawn for Neil. And
it was a full.
Yeah, it was the parting
full
of the Red Sea, leading Langer and me to the medical tent.
A lot of chairs.
So I'm with.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely, because there's a lot of oldies at this Neil Young show. Now, Canada Kev, Andrew Ward, and I remain. But I do see that VP's going with Langer to the wherever they're going. But I got a text at that moment. I get a text from VP to say we're off to the paramedics tent.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it'll be a short time, but we continue. And I can tell you to get to what happened on your side, but I can tell you from where we were on the lawns. 3 songs later, I said to the guys, I definitely said, we should go and just check in on one of our guys is down. We should go find this paramedics tent and check in on him. And I think it was Canada Kev or both of them. They were like, 3 more songs, man, 3 more songs. And then when I did eventually get them to come with me to see how things were going at the paramedics tent, we went down a level, and then Canada Kev wanted to show this trick he has for when he leaves the lawns, and this will speak to our Who story, which is going to be even more exciting. But this trick he has to go to where he hasn't paid to go. Like he paid for a lawn, but he gets down low by doing this slow dance along the beach. So from the west,
like
east to west, he does this. I don't know, this Grateful Dead boogie or something, slow motion from one side to the other, and he's like, "This is how you can get to the
It's
good."
like the Charleston or something.
So there's a lot of that point, but tell us how things were on your end.
Yeah. So we got to the medical tent, which is like way almost out of the venue.
Yeah.
It's
You can barely hear Neil Young from the medical.
Yeah,
from the medical
it's
tent.
like when you're walking, you know where that sign is where everyone gets their picture taken. It's like kind of beside that in a fenced in area.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is far.
Yeah. So Langer and I get there, and there's like 5 other guys, all of roughly the same age, who are in the same situation. They've clearly partied.
They had one of Wardo's.
Wardo was passing it out. Yeah.
Laced.
And most of them had their very disappointed wives standing over them next to them. Langer
so
had
VP
me.
was the disappointed one.
Yeah. Langer had me. And
He
so
was lucky to have you.
they were feeding Langer these tall boys of water.
You have
which
to
were-
crack these waters,
Yeah.
cans of water.
Oh wow. Is this like special water? Like
Just-
it's
They gave us,
used
yeah.
or
just regular
Regular water, but you
in a
got to
can.
crack the
Yeah.
can.
And they were checking his blood pressure, checking his blood oxygen
yeah.
level.
He had that pulse ox thing
yeah.
they put on the
I like
fingertip.
on the,
Yeah.
I like that thing.
Yeah, that's great.
It's kind of
great
an
tool.
ET type
Yeah, exactly.
gimmick.
Exactly.
And so he's got one of those. Actually, I don't think he had the blanket. They had those metallic aluminum foil blankets. I don't think they had one for him, but a couple of guys had.
Like he
those.
was
That's
just in
'cause
a
of the-
marathon.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's because of the. It protects you from the 5G.
That's
things.
right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
But
yeah.
so meanwhile, I'm with Wardo and Canada Kev, who have had multiple of these potent jazz cigarettes. Okay, remember I've only had one IPA, so I'm like the leader here. I'm like,
Right.
somebody's in charge here. And then I finally ask a security guy. I'm like, hey, where's this paramedic tent? And he tells me you got to go to services or something. There's a place you go, and then I went there and I asked them, and they said, let me take you there. And they took us there, and we get to the paramedics tent, and we see Langer looks like he's on
He was not feeling good.
death's door. Like he's sitting there. He looks unwell, but he's got that thing on his finger. He looks like, you know that scene? You mentioned E.T., Cam, but you know in E.T. when he had all those things strapped to him and they're checking his vitals? And then the paramedic looks at me and goes, his vital signs are okay. He can go home or something.
Yeah.
Like and Canada Kev's in the live stream, which I'm glad he's there to say that the EMS folks were great.
They were great.
That's good.
Yeah. They're very
Wasn't
nice.
Wardo recruiting one?
Wardo was trying to figure out what union the paramedics were in because he's a union guy.
And he was going to get one to move to Niagara on the Lake
Stony
or
Creek or
Stony
something.
Creek
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And he said you can get better benefits
That's
or
right.
something.
He knows.
Yeah.
But it was so we basically, do you remember we walked Langer to the gate so he could get his ass home, and
we
told him,
assume he made it home.
well, we said, because he had a car at the GO station, we said, just take an Uber from the GO, like, don't drive the car.
Yeah.
Take an Uber from the GO station. And we checked in, made sure he got home. But you remember I said to that security guy, how far can I go before, and still be allowed to go back? Because I wanted to catch the end of the Neil Young show. And he goes, you can go to that gate. And then I get up to the gate, and the other security guy's like, whoa! And he's like pushing me out like I went too far. And I yelled at the security guy, and I said, that security guy said I could go to this gate. I'm not leaving this venue.
And then we made it back for Rockin' in the Free World.
Yeah.
So how many songs did you miss?
Oh, that's a big number,
I missed,
right? You missed a lot.
I missed a lot of.
Yeah.
But I want to say,
okay.
before we move on to The Who, which is a fascinating story, but shorter story, I want to say the love I witnessed, like, it made me so proud to be the godfather of the TMU, if you will, that I saw these two gentlemen who have that, they go at each other lovingly and that glint in their eye. And the way that VP was there, he was standing by his man, Tammy Wynette style.
Sure.
And I know Langer appreciated it. Like, there's true love between these two men.
Well,
it's beautiful, Cam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As I say, I think any of us would do the same for any other of us in the TMU.
Would you do that for Stu Stone, Cam Gordon?
I do it for like 90% of FOTMs. But yeah, for Stu, of course.
Who are the 10%?
Would you do it?
Let's name some
We'll
names.
say that off.
Yeah, let's just name FOTMs until find out who we do it for.
Yeah.
So now let's fast forward, because I realize we have a lot to
I'm
cover
glad,
here.
the main thing is I'm glad
Langer's
Langer's okay.
good.
Langer's
Langer's
fine.
fine.
You know
Fully
what?
recovered.
He said that he that particular strain of cannabis just hit him like a fucking ton of bricks.
It happens.
You know?
Happens to the
It
best
could
of
have
us.
happened to me.
I've been there.
There, but for the grace of God, go
Exactly.
I.
Could have been any of
You
us.
know, could have been the Willie Nelson, could have been the wine, like Cam says. So, fast forward.
Yeah.
I got a ticket. I've told the story so many fucking times on Toronto Mike, but the real heads are listening, so they've heard it. But the 7-Eleven, no, it was 11-11, right?
Yeah.
11-11.
Yeah.
I got a ticket on the lawn for $11.11
Me
plus
too.
a $10 surcharge. So we each got these really cheap tickets to say farewell to The Who. They were lawn tickets. So there we are now. We're both on the lawns for The Who.
Yeah, roughly the same spot. A little further ahead because it's a little less populated. Than,
And who's opening?
Tom Cochran, Canadian legend. Thomas Cochran.
That's FOTM.
FOTM.
Tom Cochran.
So we're actually, I loved
from
it.
the band Red Rider.
That's correct.
Oh, sorry, from the band Tom Cochran and Red Rider.
We'll fix it in post.
Let's just say that you're on the lunatic fringe over there, Cam Gordon. But shout out. It's funny. I've got
boy inside
multiple
the van
phone
here.
calls during this FOTM cast.
Who's calling you now? Peter Gross.
Peter, I feel like we should get it.
Yeah, you should probably answer that.
Okay,
Put him on the mic.
Yeah.
Peter Gross, you're on FOTM cast. How are you, sir?
Oh, what, are you working now? I'm on FOTM cast. What does that mean?
Well, you're an FOTM Hall of Famer,
Not
so
a
I'm
real
glad
head.
you called. But is there anything urgent? Anything I can help you with?
It's incredibly urgent. No, I just have a question. Is there such a thing as a competition/award for podcast of the year?
Probably. Do you think we're in contention?
Well, I would submit that one. I'm getting some really...
Oh, Bill, this is actually timely because we're
For
talking
down
about...
the stretch or
yeah,
what?
no, for Bill Atanasoff, right?
Oh, right.
Who have you got there?
Okay, so I have here Tyler Campbell and Cam Gordon, and we're actually discussing...
Fellow FOTM Hall of Famer.
Hello,
fellow
Peter.
FOTM Hall of Famers like you. But we're discussing Toronto Mic'd episodes from the previous quarter, of which your excellent Bill Atanasoff episode is one.
Well, I've been getting some interesting comments, and I think that although it's obviously not going to attract huge numbers, it's a real
Get more than this one.
message-filled podcast, and if there was such a thing as the outstanding podcast of the year.
Got to talk to Al Grego about that.
Yeah, let me talk to some people, and I think it is worthy of an award.
It was a fucking great episode.
was.
Like really, really interesting.
These guys loved it. And I have all the feedback on it has been absolutely wonderful. I keep getting notes from people who knew him and worked with him, and they're just grateful, A, that you did this, and B, that I recorded it.
Why am I not seeing all these? I saw one or two.
Okay, well, I've sent you a few. After this recording, I'll get you some more.
Okay.
But
Do you know what the numbers were for that?
you mean download numbers?
He can't say.
1 million.
1 million? Okay, that's a good number.
All right, brother. Got to go finish this FOTM cast.
Finish.
But we got to start this thing. But I'm glad you called of that because we will be talking about your episode in about 90 minutes.
Okay, good. Bye.
Bye.
Wow. That was
Huge.
exciting. That was exciting.
That was exciting.
You know what?
Yeah, it's cool.
I like that. This is what I like. I like the live on the floor because that just happened.
You
We
never
didn't
know what's
arrange-
gonna
We
happen.
didn't arrange that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was about an episode that aired last quarter. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Madcap
we're at the Who.
episode.
We watched Tom Cochran
Yeah.
from the Lawns. We both thoroughly enjoyed it
Loved
from
it.
the Lawns.
Yep.
And then I get a text. Who is my text from?
The great Paul Farberman, FOTM, Paul Farberman.
Paul Farberman is texting me and he's like, come say hi. I'm in the front row. So you know how you have those floors or whatever, but he's in the front row of the
It's like, yeah.
How does it work?
The
200s?
yeah, I think it's the 200, the first elevated section.
right, where you have
above the pit.
the set seats or whatever. Yeah. So he's like, come down and say hi. So we make our way down to say hi to Paul Farberman.
That's right.
Before the Who starts. Now finish this story so we can get to the fucking episode.
So Paul says, why don't you guys, there's some empty seats here. Why don't you guys stay? And Mike said, well, like, are they ticketed? Like, do you have these tickets? And Paul said, no, but you know, they're empty seats. So just stay. And like, would you rather go back to the lawn?
Well, if I remember correctly, he introduced us to this. I wish I could remember his name.
Yeah, I
a
wish I could.
famous Rolling Stone photographer.
Yeah.
Who's been photographing every rock band you ever heard of for
That's
50
right.
years or something.
Yeah.
And he had
Bob Gruen?
maybe I can't remember the name, but he said there was an empty seat beside him, and I think I said to you, Tyler, is like, I'll take this empty seat. You sit beside me, and I said, if somebody comes for your seat, we'll both go to the lawns.
Yeah.
Like I won't stay there and let you go to the lawn by
That's right.
yourself. So we basically took this big gamble. We sat down, and somehow we stayed for the whole fucking Who set.
That's right.
We watched the Who from the second row.
We did. It was great.
It was amazing,
Just,
right?
Like, couldn't have been a
So
better
close. We
vantage point.
spent $11.11 on our tickets.
That's right.
Thank you, Pizza. How did he know you were there? Or did you tell him like earlier?
Yeah, I'd met him at an event for Snow. Sadly, he was sitting Shiva for his sister.
Oh.
But
okay.
this is when I learned that you get an hour off when you sit Shiva. So he gets an hour to leave, and he spent that hour to come to this event that Snow was putting on for his Appleberry community. Do I got the right name?
Oh,
Appleberry.
no.
So basically,
right,
there was an
right.
event I
Yes.
attended with, by the way,
Alan
with
Berry.
Alan Berry, thank you. With Keith, well, my wife was there, and Keith Stein, who called just before Peter Gross, but I didn't want to put Keith on the air there. That just happened. I got multiple phone calls during, and I'm going to get all the other calls that come in. I'm going to answer live. But we're going to move on now to FOTMcast. But I just thought that's amazing. We both pick up these super cheap lawns to see the final Who concert, and thanks to Paul Farberman, we end up in the second row, and I thought it was great.
Paul looked at us like a proud father.
Oh, yeah.
And
At
gave
the
us,
end,
like,
yeah, he kept, and then at the very end, he texted me, "Don't I always deliver?"
Farberman delivers.
Farberman, and then today happens to be the anniversary of the Catherine McClanahan
Oh my God!
debut.
Okay.
It all comes
All
together.
ties. Can
Yeah.
I ask you guys two questions about that
Please.
concert?
Yeah, and then we're gonna.
I
rock.
think you both said it was sort of better than expected.
definitely.
What was good? Like, I'm not. Don't take this as a pejorative, but like, what was good about it?
It sounded good for guys
Yeah.
in their 80s.
Did it seem like did it seem like the Who?
I mean,
we'll say that.
I thought so.
it seemed like very old guys,
Sure.
wearing very comfortable shoes.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, Pete still sounds great. Like his voice is still great.
Yeah.
He still plays.
Roger sounds great.
Roger sounds great. Like we had some discussion in the secret, not so secret WhatsApp group about whether his scream.
Right, piped in.
Well, we've
was
been
piped
told
in.
by Robert Lawson,
Lawson
it's
says
sweetened.
yeah, well, I think, or just entirely tape.
Right.
Sure.
But it sold me. Like,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
sells
like
it
just
well.
like I was
Yeah.
sure it was a 2.5 count there that Orndorff put on Hogan at the exhibition
Scream
place.
aside, Roger's voice does sound good, and he sang very well.
I had a great time,
Yeah.
and I thought they put on a great show. And
Agreed.
they have so many big fucking hits. Like, these are epic jams that they're playing here. I just felt like I got my $11.11.
I remember
for it.
that, like we're talking about Won't Get Fooled Again, like the
Of
Scream,
course.
which was
That's the Scream.
famously in a Q107 commercial.
That's right, yes.
For many years
Yeah,
now.
and Alan Cross kicked it out as his. I think he kicked it out as
That's
the
right,
best
yeah.
scream in music or something like that. But it was
So
great.
anyway, quickly, question two, and Mike, you point this out this quarter. I thought this was funny. I'm just
Okay.
looking at the set list from Tom Cochran. He played 8 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome set list, all big hits. You got Boy Inside the Man and Big League, and obviously Life is a Highway. But Mike, you point this out. It's like I'm looking at Setlist FM. It says 6 of these 8 songs are covers.
They're
They're
don't
not
know.
Tom
No.
Cochrane. They're either Tom Cochrane or Red Rider, or they're Red Rider, and 2 of them are Tom Cochrane. And
This is why
it's so stupid.
They speak in America of Tom Cochrane as a one-hit wonder because in America, "Life Is a Highway" was his only hit, but they don't
Rascal
actually
Flatts song?
count like Lunatic Fringe.
I guess technically Tom Cochrane is a one-hit wonder, where Tom Cochrane and Red Rider. Or,
there's a
or
lot
Red
of bands
Rider.
like, oh, is that Bruce Springsteen? Is that
Right.
Bruce Springsteen?
Tom
in the
Petty.
East? Is it Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers?
Fucking Neil Young.
Neil Young and
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse. Well, who did we see?
Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts.
The Chrome Hearts, right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so, that's all just like database fuck ups.
Anyway,
nothing new under the sun.
Got to clean your data.
Can I shed a light on something interesting? So
Please do.
Sure.
there's there's a provincial lunchtime show called Ontario Today that airs on CBC Radio 1. So if you're in Ontario, you get this show called Ontario Today. And they have callers. So they introduce a topic. People from Ontario call in and they have a nice little chat about things. Okay? You ever heard the show?
No.
Just pretend you have. I've heard it many times.
Yes, I hear it all.
Ontario Today. I always listened to the show and assumed everything was on the up and up and that people would call in and they'd have these conversations and it was all live. But then I got an email this past quarter from a producer of that show to say, hey, we saw your blog entry. I don't know how many years ago I wrote it, maybe 15 for goodness sakes. But we saw your blog entry about working at the CNE. We would like you to be the first caller tomorrow at noon or something like that. And I explained, I can't call in tomorrow at noon because I'm talking to Sophie B. Hawkins at noon. And, I can't.
Oddly specific. But okay.
That's
Didn't
a lot
ask
of
for
detail.
that detail, but
I give details. Okay, I'm a detail guy. Anyway, she said, that's okay. You can do it at 11. So long story short, and I'm not going to play the whole thing. I did 5 minutes. I'm looking at it right now. I'll just play a little bit of this and then we'll talk about that.
What are your most memorable stories from the Midway? 1-888-817-8995.
You can call that number.
It's like klezmer music.
And we got Mike on the line from Toronto. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Listen, I hear you were once a game booth attendant at the CNE. When was that, and what memory does that bring back for you?
Oh, my goodness. How much time do you have? But I was a game booth attendant for 3 summers, and what a job it was for 15-year-old Mike. A few memories, Omar, if you don't mind. Maybe I'll ramble a few at you.
Well, yeah, what was it like to work at the Midway? Yeah, paint us a picture.
Okay, so firstly, it was a 20-day exhibition back then, so you worked 20 days in a row. So basically, as a teenager, you're there long days, 20 days in a row. I remember at the end of the day when you're tearing down and it gets quiet after a busy day, the Polar Express every single night, I don't know, around 11 p.m. or something, would play Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World. And I can tell you, if I hear that song in the wild, and it's everywhere, I'm taken right back to like those calm, quiet after the storm nights, working the CNE, working the game I worked, which was
you
called
can find this on TorontoMike.com. It's 5 minutes of this, but I can tell you a couple things. One is it was not a live phone call. They called me and they called me at 11 o'clock is how that happened.
Dina Puglisi.
Dina Puglisi. Also, the other fun fact is they edited what I said because I went longer than 5 minutes, and they edited out. I started singing. Let's go to the EXO, baby. Like maybe they said, this guy can't carry a tune or whatever.
Sha-na-na filed a cease and desist.
So that happened in the last quarter, and I thought this might be the time.
Why did I not know
bring
that? Honestly, I don't recall this at all. That you did this, and when you share literally everything you do on any given day,
Tyler,
why do I not remember this?
I did listen when
I told
when you posted the link.
WhatsApp group. I probably posted about it on Blue Sky, and then I literally wrote about it on TorontoMike.com. Like, what more do you want me to do?
I don't know. Like, I just somehow.
And now I'm talking about it on Toronto Mike the podcast.
Anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
So that happened.
That did happen.
Also, I just want to. There's another podcast. I have nothing to do with this podcast, but it is kind of right. All right, they're younger than us, but it's right up our alley. It's called Big in Canada. And they talk about songs that are big in Canada, like because of CanCon rules. So I think the primary focus is the song that is huge here, but Americans have no fucking clue what that is. It would be like Victory Day by Tom Cochrane or something like that. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I have a little clip though, because I came up on the show. Okay, so let's listen to this minute from Big in Canada.
Yeah, speaking of snow.
Well, actually, I found it because on YouTube I was searching bare naked ladies snow job, and then bare naked ladies snow. This video appeared.
Yeah, so you sent me a video of I think it's the Toronto Mic'd podcast, which is this guy has like thousands of episodes of podcasts with like vaguely famous people from Toronto, some more
right
than
here.
others, you know.
Come on.
And in this episode, he's talking to Snow, the first internationally famous Canadian rapper, Snow.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got beef with the Bare Naked Ladies that they stole his flow for their hit 1 week.
Two white guys talking about the flow.
But then the video gets even wilder because it's revealed that Stephen Page and Snow, Stephen Page, formerly of the Bare Naked Ladies, are second cousins.
What?
But AI. Snow goes, no, we didn't see them. Like, my family was too gangster. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
I think it's great that they act, because a lot of times I'll hear in a podcast, they'll get some fact from my show, but they won't fucking say what show they got it from. Yeah. So thank you, Big in Canada, for saying Toronto Mike. They cited their sources.
Again, much like Wikipedia, we'll get to WikiLeaks soon, but I do like these facts that you unearth then getting spread further out into the... Like, I had no idea those guys were even cousins at all until I heard it on the show. So
it's the only place you can get that.
You know, we knew about Ashley McIsaac and Jack White, but now we know about, this all came out, and he's going to come back next quarter, by the way. Snow I'm referring to here. But I did find it interesting that he says, he did say, I speak to I wrote it down, vaguely famous Toronto people. But and then he says, I'm talking to Snow. Sorry, Snow is not vaguely famous, okay? No. Snow's a global fucking
Billboard
#1
topper.
#1.
You can't say I talk to vaguely famous people and say, here he is sitting down with Snow in his in his basement here. It's one or the other here. Snow's a big fucking deal.
Yeah. No, that's big ups to them for
they cited their sources, which I'm honored by.
But they need to be educated. Maybe you can
I wonder how old. I always find it like, I'm just looking at photos. So these two seem like they're maybe like
millennials.
Yeah, I'd say like at least 10 years younger than us. But you look, they're talking about I Mother Earth and Amanda Marshall, and here's Bass's Bass. So again, it is just interesting because they probably have a totally different perspective on all this.
Yeah. Well, what I did notice, I should get them on. What I noticed is I think they've lost the plot in the sense that I think it was about Canadian famous stuff, and then it sort of has stuff that is actually very famous in the United States. So I think they do slip a little bit. Like, I think the idea of the show was stuff that's big in Canada because of CanCon rules.
Right. Yeah.
But I think they have slipped, and they might kick out a song like that is actually big in the States as well.
I feel like Biff Naked had a bit of traction. Like, she was on some movie soundtracks and stuff in the States.
Right.
Like, I know she was on the Boys Club soundtrack, I believe.
That's right. Starring
she was in a Moist video. Or two.
And allegedly in the Offspring video, which we edited out on Wikipedia.
Okay, well, that's what you're here for.
Fact check.
Do you guys think we should start the show?
We should. Actually, before we do that, I just have one question for you, Mike.
Of course.
So the Toronto Blue Jays are in the playoffs. I don't know if you knew that.
They play tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
They play tomorrow against the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
You've been very open about your...
I took the season off.
You took the season off.
Yeah.
So my question is, will you be watching Blue Jays playoff baseball?
Well, this is a bigger question than you think it is. It's not a big, short one, because I'm kind of doing this experiment on myself here. And I was interested in the last weekend of Blue Jay baseball, and then I turned on the game Saturday, and I turned it on again Sunday, because I realized I have a responsibility as a father to make this moment exciting for my kids. Like,
Sure.
I don't want... I'm thinking specifically of 11-year-old Jarvis, who is excited by sports, and I don't want Jarvis to miss out on his home team having a playoff run.
Yep.
So absolutely, I'm going to be tuning in these playoff games. But then tomorrow, for example, at 4 o'clock, I have scheduled something with my oldest son who doesn't give a damn about baseball. So I'm probably going to miss game one, and I don't think I would have missed game one in previous seasons.
Sure.
So I think I'm like definitely going to watch, and if it's a clinching game, I'd like to see it.
Yep.
And if we advance, I want, maybe we'll hit the streets, okay? Maybe we'll bike downtown and partake in some of the excitement. but it definitely feels different. Like I don't feel so much like, oh, this is my team. Like it feels a bit like I'm a little disconnected. But I was doing a lot of catching up on Saturday and Sunday actually, because other than the game we all attended, which we only watched a little bit of that game. Yeah. And then I went to a game of Michelle where I watched a full game and Jays won and it was a full house and it was very exciting. But other than that, I haven't seen an inning of Blue Jay baseball. I tuned in Sportsnet for the first time on Saturday.
Wow.
And I realized this is a mind blow. You ready for this? And I was at least a big sports fan.
Yeah.
That was the first live sports I watched. You ready for this? Since the Edmonton Oilers lost in Game 6 to the Florida Panthers.
So you took like the whole summer off.
I saw the Florida Panthers beat the Oilers.
Yeah.
I live with an Oiler fanatic. Only in playoff time, though. And then my next game I watched was on Saturday when I watched the Blue Jays win.
So are the little ones, are they into the Jays? Are
Only
they excited?
Jarvis.
Is he excited? Does he care?
He is excited that he's going to watch with his papa. He's going to watch the home team play playoff games like he did when the Leafs were in the playoffs. So.
Give him a beer. It'll be his first
So
beer.
1 out of 4 kids is excited. And that, to me, that was enough to bring me in. I'm not going to let him miss this because who knows? Maybe we're going to win our third World Series.
Start something, yeah.
And also, I have fond memories, as you can imagine, of the Raptors run in 2019 and soaking it in with my oldest, who was a big fan. And I could cry thinking about us watching that final game, and I would love to have that with Jarvis. So I would like the Blue Jays to win the World Series for Jarvis.
I feel like every year that will go by, they'll become more and more remarkable that they won.
I know. It was a perfect storm. Like you can't get free agents, right? You needed everything to line up, and it did, and we did it.
Loved
and flags fly forever.
Okay.
That's right.
May I start the episode?
Please.
Go right ahead.
Wrap it up.
Shout out to the fabulous Thunderbirds.
I actually never knew who that was. Okay.
That's right. It's
Tough Enough.
Stevie
I thought it was
Ray
Delamitri.
No, it's Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother Jimmy, and the other guys, the other Thunderbirds.
The Stevie Ray Vaughan's brothers in the Fabulous Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you know,
no
Stevie
idea.
Ray Vaughan, I was working the CNE when he died, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I had nothing to do with it, though. Shout
Caught
out
the
to Whitney Funeral Home.
crossfire.
You know, he was a mentor to the great FOTM, Colin James.
That's right. That's right. It all comes full circle.
And Colin James still isn't fucking sure what he did in that South Etobicoke basement for 90 minutes. He still doesn't know what happened.
Hostage situation. Yeah.
He does not know where he was.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that'll come up with Kathleen Robertson.
You know, possibly. Possibly. But Kathleen, unlike Colin, his PR person drove him here.
That's right.
It's like the PR person said,
was that
"You're
an
doing
Alper?
this." That was an Eric Alper.
Okay.
Right. So we'll get to the Kathleen, but it was completely different. She got herself here based on friends.
Yeah. We will talk about that. All right.
Okay, so lead us.
Q3.
I'm ready now. Let's start this FOTMcast.
Facts and figures. Let's go through it. This was the 53rd quarter of Toronto Mic'd. There were 50 episodes, exactly 50 in this quarter.
That's a nice round number.
Very nice round number. It's a little bit of a lighter quarter. Since the start of the pandemic, you've averaged 52 a quarter, so a little bit below.
But I warned you, that's my kayak
Yeah,
quarter.
and I was going to ask you, how much kayaking did you do? Because I didn't really see a lot of kayak content out there.
I am kayaking on Tuesday.
Okay.
I think I kayaked a little less than last year. I have to go to the Strava facts because I do record each one. And it has been a bit. Like, I think I was trying to do Tuesday kayaks, and I think life got in the way. I am going to kayak on Tuesday.
Good. I like to hear
But I did a lot more biking. And basically, I try to enjoy the great weather when we have it.
That's all you can do.
Thanks, man. So 50, though. 50 to me sounds
50.
like
It's a great
hell
quarter.
of a lot of shows.
A healthy number.
He gives me a hard time, Cam.
No, he's just saying
I know.
facts.
I'm just
Facts are facts.
Just fucking with him. Okay, 50 episodes.
Yeah, 50 on the dot.
I feel like I let you guys down.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
You
Never.
warned us. You warned us. 51 individual guests, down from 68 in Q2. There were no gang episodes really this quarter. There were a few
No
guestless.
Joe Carter classics.
No Joe Carter classic. There were
No
a few
Christy
guestless
Pitts.
episodes. Just 27 first-timers this quarter, down from 39 in Q2. Big milestone this quarter that you celebrated 1,000 guests.
See, I think that's more impressive than the fact this is episode 1,774.
Yeah.
That there's 1,000 unique guests.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Len Lumbers.
Yes.
From Today in Dave Steeb history is the lucky Mr. 1000. He was on with Blake Bell, who also runs that account with him, and the great Stephen Brunt. It was a really fun episode. I enjoyed that.
That was called Dave Steeb Belongs in Cooperstown.
That's right. He does. I agree with that.
So you think he belongs in Cooperstown?
I do.
Oh, yes,
You do
I
as
think
well?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say
Numbers
probably
don't lie.
not quite. He's close. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was a better, although didn't play in the big games. So Jack Morris has the World Series and the 11-inning shutout and all that stuff. But I think overall the better pitcher was Dave Steeb.
I think Steve had a higher peak,
so.
and I think he was robbed of a lot of awards.
For
because
playing for bad teams and for playing in Canada.
Yeah, and he didn't have the wins, right? Like it was all about wins.
Right.
So, what are you going to do?
Complicated history.
What are you going to do?
But he doesn't care if he's in Cooperstown. So after that episode, I realized, why the fuck should I care if he doesn't care? Like, I think he could do himself a great service by lobbying for himself.
He could.
Like,
He could.
go make the rounds and say, I
Yeah.
belong, here's why.
I believe that's how
Burt Bylevin.
Like Jack Morris was like
he was
very
a-
vocal
yes.
about
But the
him
better
getting
example
in.
is Burt Bylevin, right?
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame, and
Yep.
he lobbied very hard for
He
himself.
did. Yeah. So, whatever. Good for Dave Steeb.
Okay, and good for Len Lumbers.
Good for Len
Guest
Lumbers.
number
Yeah, what a great name.
1000. Yeah, it's a great name.
That's a good like ball player name.
Yeah,
Len
it is. Yeah.
Next time we take a photo by the tree, Len Lumbers has to hold a baseball bat.
Actually, you know what's the catcher for the Tigers? Dylan Dingler.
Dingler. Yeah, that's a great name, too.
Good name.
Yeah, some great baseball.
Okay, now can you tell us what you're doing here, Tyler? Like, are you going to go from the
So we're
first
gonna
episode of
we're
the
gonna
quarter?
start
and then-
at the top of the quarter, and we're
Okay.
just gonna run it through.
All right,
Okay.
all right. And then if
we're gonna
Cam and I have anything to say,
we're gonna stop along the way. I've got a few clips. I think you have a couple clips.
Making stops
That's right.
along the way.
And then so just feel free to chime in.
Okay.
Cliff Thorburn, episode number 1 of the quarter.
Okay.
Snooker champion.
Cam didn't listen to that
It's just-
episode.
I mean, I did not listen to that one.
You can tell. But I'll say he's a world champion snooker player, and
Yeah.
I didn't know him either. But Gary Chowan told me, you need to talk to my friend Cliff. He can visit the basement. He's got great stories. And I said, yes, sir.
Why not? Why not?
And I got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed my chat with Cliff Thorburn.
I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed listening to it. He
that
had
means a
some
lot.
interesting stories.
Yeah.
Michael Mongiardi, his first appearance.
Michael Monchiardi has become a good friend, and we meet for coffees, and we don't even record the conversations. That's how
Wow.
much I like him.
That
yeah,
is two
he's from the network that took the Humble and Fred show from Ian Services servers to stick ads in it.
I don't know how we
but-
feel about that.
Well, I love Ian like a brother.
Yeah,
so-
Ian's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve Simmons is sort of the first, repeat guest of the quarter, and he, these sort of old timey sports guys. You keep having him back, and it was a great chat. He's got lots to say.
Yeah. I was gonna say this one. I have two thoughts on. One, there's someone in the group chat could see Steve Simmons milling about in the Jays playoff
yeah, I
celebration.
saw that.
Was
Yeah,
that you?
yeah.
Okay. And then I saw it. There was Rosie DiMano right beside Kevin Gossman in the club. I thought the clubhouse thing was really fucking weird
It
with
was
the
weird.
lights.
Yeah.
Like it had a real disco vibe, and half the guys are shirtless. And
Yeah,
there's,
and they're just like in that big walkway outside the clubhouse.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
But one comment about Steve Simmons, Mike, the three of us did talk about this exact topic multiple times during the quarter in our private group chat. But as always, I applaud you for giving the mics open to these people that other people consider problematic, like Steve Simmons. I feel like in some circles he's not quite canceled, but I feel like a lot of people take issues.
He's
and I feel-
polarizing, so there are people who will chat. Say, the typical comment would be something like, Mike, I love your show. I listen to every episode, but I'm skipping this one. Like, they feel a need to tell me they're going to skip Steve Simmons, to which I say,
that's fine.
Listening is optional. You can
Sure.
skip all the fucking episodes.
It's not an airport.
It's not an airport. You have to announce your departure. I want to talk to Steve Simmons because I enjoy these conversations,
Yeah.
and he's seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and they're great conversations. Like they're very listenable.
I love the Steve
Yeah.
Simmons episode.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Andy, who just wants to say she enjoyed the Cliff Thorburn episode far more than she thought she would. I don't
you go.
think non-snooker heads are familiar with the name. Like, I wasn't familiar with the name. And Langer's Colin Honigman. Apparently, you might have disparaged him in your story.
Not at
about
all.
him.
No, as I said, nothing but respect for my fellow geriatric ginger.
So Steve Simmons, I loved it, and
Yeah.
then we rolled into the Dave Steve
all his
episode
episodes.
with Brunt. It's always good to get Brunt on.
What a survivor too, like in media too.
Oh, Simmons,
Just,
yeah.
God,
Oh my God, yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, the Steve episode. Brunt is always fantastic, and Blake and Len were great. Ed Keenan, of course, was just here yesterday for his Q4 visit.
He was wielding a bat. He's the first
right.
guest to wield a bat in the Toronto tree photo.
Yeah, I love the Ed Keenan chats just because they're so Toronto centric.
Yeah.
It's really the dirt about what's going on at City Hall, about what's going on in our city, and he's really got his finger on the pulse. So I'm so glad that you do those quarterly episodes.
I listened to part of the most recent one
yesterday
on the way over,
which we won't discuss
my
today.
2-hour bus ride.
We'll talk about that in January.
Yeah.
We talked about Olivia Chow's new boyfriend.
Yes, big scoop there.
Yeah, well, I think it's an open secret because it's not a secret. Like no one's cheating on any. It's not like he's not a staffer. Yeah, Tori's was a secret because she was a City Hall staffer, and the public perception was that John Tory was married. Like,
Right.
that was public perception,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Even though they were actually separated. Okay,
Right.
so this is just a single woman and a single man, both adults having a relationship,
And
so I felt like I could break this one.
yeah, just two guys in the basement on my microphones publishing about her personal life.
You know, it's all. I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
That was our big scoop. Olivia Chow is a boyfriend. If you want to know who it is, I named the man in the most recent Ed Keenan episode.
You did. James Lockyer.
Yeah, and he's kind of a famous guy.
Yeah, I've heard of him before.
He's helping wrongfully accused people.
Yeah,
he's a lawyer.
He's a real dude. All right, so after Ed Keenan was the return of Jill Deacon.
I always let you two go first because see if you have
and Jill, it's great to hear from Jill. I know she's battled a lot of health challenges, but she sounded in good spirits. She's
her dog was with her.
Yeah, which is always exciting for you. I know, having another beast in the room. But yeah, no, great chat with Jill.
I will say I didn't listen to that one
There it is.
either.
Maybe he's not a real head.
I am a real head. But do you remember she had her talk show? Like it was sort of a Deanie Petty type show.
Yeah, but we covered that in her first visit.
I know.
This
Yeah,
was
it's
more
old
like,
news,
tell
Cam.
us about the long
I know.
COVID. How is the recurrence of cancer? Why did you leave here and now? Like we had a lot to cover. It was important. On the mic.
Of course.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the return of Jill Deacon. I hadn't heard. I was
was
like
good to have her
legit
back.
worried about her. Like I was worried we were going to lose her.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's there, she's got her dog, she was in good spirits, she sounded great, meant a lot to me.
Love it.
I like her very much, and her bag of hammers.
Scotty Mac.
Okay.
Next up.
Speak of people you worry about. Love it.
No,
not quite as much as some people.
Well, I have a question. Which Scotty is this? A Scotty Mac in the basement?
This was Scotty Mac in the basement. The other one was the previous quarter.
So I didn't know he'd be in the so he did a Zoom to catch up,
Yeah.
but I didn't know I'd be able to get him in the basement so quickly because he was on his way to Scotland.
That's right.
So he was here. I thought that was fab. I thought Scott MacArthur back in the basement, just shooting from the hip.
He's a really interesting guy.
Yeah.
I really like his story. Left sports media because it wasn't floating his boat anymore, and he's sort of found purpose. And
He's going to be a social worker working with people who have been
previously incarcerated.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I always find his episodes very, almost like philosophical, but not in like a schmaltzy way.
Yeah.
Like just very like genuine.
Yeah. I like Scott quite a
And
bit.
he does a very good Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, we might hear a little bit of that later on.
So you let me know when you got to play something.
I will. Yeah,
Okay, I'm
all
going to
good.
tell you what to do.
Next up was the first of 3 toasts in the quarter. Always wonderful to hear from the great Bob and Rob.
Eye jams.
JD Bunkus was next.
Right. Did Cam listen to JD Bunkus?
I think I did listen to that one.
Yeah.
Like that would have been in July,
That
right?
was July, yeah. So there's a lot of chatter about JD after the episode because there was some talk that maybe he was a little prickly, maybe he was not digging the Toronto Mike vibe.
Right.
I didn't really get that. Like there were a couple of moments, one of which I'm going to play in a moment.
There were moments in that episode where I thought possibly
it was going to go south.
I thought a couple of times he was baiting me, like picking a fight.
Yeah,
bull baiting.
Because I remember telling myself, nah. Like I had this quick internal monologue.
Don't
of
do it, Mike.
Like nah. Like
Don't
I
take
see
the
what
bait.
he's doing it. Like nah.
Well, let's listen to a little bit of JD Bunkus here.
Like it must be tough for sports radio in the era of podcasts. Like I don't want you getting yourself in trouble, and I'm just wondering. Like, it's got to be very difficult.
Well, there's a few things though. Like
Tell me.
my show is called the JD Bunkus Podcast, and that's because I always believed it was podcast on the radio. And actually, like
Love that band.
The one thing I actually don't think I get any credit for in this market is no one was doing that style before me on the radio. If you look back to my first days of doing Good Show, I was already doing a podcast before then. And again, I liked long form podcasting. So one of the things that I probably get in trouble for is that I go long in my segments, and the back half of my radio show is usually fairly short. So I never looked at it like, okay, I'm going to come in and it's the top of the hour and hit the story. It's like, I like the conversation. I like it like a podcast. So if you listen to my work, which I'm guessing you don't, based on that question,
that's a punch.
I've always been podcast first. The radio is a bonus. But what I will say about the radio is it still is something comforting where you're either streaming it or you're listening to it in your car, where it's the comfort of knowing that something is going to come on at a certain time. People are creatures of habit.
Sure.
I think that's why COVID really hurt our industry, is that people changed their habits and were forced to adapt so much. But no, I still really value the being live component and knowing that it's going out on signals that are just not a podcast stream. I view that actually as like a really valuable asset, where you're looking at it being like, this is a podcast, this is radio, this is digital streaming, this is all of it encompassing.
Do you listen to Toronto Mic'd?
No.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I threw that out there because, you calling me out for not listening to your podcast.
Yeah, but I'm a guest on your show.
See what I mean?
Cut that tension.
So there was I do this a lot. Okay, I do a lot of episodes. 1,000 unique guests.
That's right.
And nobody stormed out yet. That's fucking amazing too.
You know what'd be a fun exercise? You get Mark Weisblot down here. You strap him to the chair, play him that. And it's like, Mark, you're not leaving until you react to what he just said. Because you would have just about, everyone's trying to figure out this media and, it's a living and da-da-da. And
he was
invented
I don't
podcasting.
know. I would never. I'd have him on again, of course. I'd have him on again.
It was like that was a moment in a longer podcast that didn't feel like that the whole time.
But
right?
I did there was feedback from that because now, this was a long time ago. So I'm now remembering the JD Bunkus podcast. And there was a lot of feedback from people who said the vibes were off. And my vibes are always the fucking same. Like sometimes I adapt to the guest vibes, but I feel like he came in with a bit of a...
Yeah, I had a chip. He had a chip.
Yeah.
So... that question that sparked that whole thing was me asking, because I do wonder, he's on AM radio doing a sports show when everybody can tune in a podcast that specializes on the sport of their choice. That's an on-demand medium where you can skip ads and you can pause and all what a
Sure.
podcast is,
I've
right, guys?
listened to some podcasts.
So, fair question. Right?
Yeah.
But he seemed to get us back up. And he's like, this is a podcast on the radio. I'm like, oh, so you can't pause it. And you do have to stop down for the ads I can't skip. That's still a radio show.
It does sort of like a chicken or egg. Like, what is it a podcast? Is it radio? Another program that I think is sort of like this is Elamine on CBC, Commotion. Because I think of that as a podcast.
Like a pop culture.
But is that first and foremost a radio show? Because it is I think it goes on the airwaves, the radio airwaves, and then becomes available as a podcast.
Sure.
It ultimately it doesn't matter, but do you need to pick a lane? This one seems like it's kind of half and half.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. So Tyler, what did you think of the JD Bunkus debut?
Yeah, I enjoyed the chat just because he's an interesting guy. He's got an interesting story coming from I believe he's from the Yukon. And he's an engaging guy. He's definitely got a bit of a self mythology,
but he also has
going,
some swagger.
Which is fine. He's a character, and you'd rather have someone who's going to be coming a little hot and have a take versus
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So I enjoyed it. It was good chat.
Yeah, you know what? And also when you get those awkward moments, and we'll talk later about another episode of an awkward moment, but I kind of think that's exciting.
Of course. Yeah.
It's not paint by numbers, PR spiel. We had a real conversation, and sometimes in a real lengthy conversation with somebody you just met, there might be a moment or two where it's a bit gristly. And then when he said, clearly you don't listen to my show, I'm like, oh, that's kind of a shot right there. And I'm like, this fucker probably doesn't listen to Toronto Mike. So it's we're on the same page.
But he's a guest on your show.
But yeah, he's a guest on my show. So
you asked him over.
I invited him over, and I'm gonna do it again, JD. So
all right.
Check your.
That was a good episode.
Check your email. I'm gonna invite you back.
God bless anyone in the it's
absolutely
tough business.
Yeah.
Tough business.
I met him at the Keegan Matheson book signing.
Ah, yes,
that's how that
right.
came to be.
Yeah.
But I also met a guy, Caleb Joseph, who said he would come on, and he does not reply to my texts.
Oh boy. Oh dear.
He's really good. I
enjoy his
I
work.
want to have him on Toronto Mike's.
Yeah. Well,
JD Bunkus
good
did
stuff.
reply and came over,
Shout
and
out to
that's
JD.
everything.
Yeah, shout
So
out to
thank
JD.
you, JD Bunkus. You didn't have to do this. Thanks, buddy.
All right, rolling on. John Wing here to talk about Ron versus Don in a part 1 of 2 series. To refresh everyone's memory, the Ron versus Don thing, our good friend and FOTM Gare Joyce wrote a story about Don Cherry, who sort of had his final podcast. Then there was some discussion about whether that was actually his final podcast. It sounded pretty final. He sounded on death's door at the end of that show.
So just
and so Gare wrote a story because Ron McLean, he had a conversation with Ron McLean, who sort of disclosed some information about Don being quite ill during one of his last years on Hockey Night in Canada, where he had to go to the hospital, and then there were denials, and then of course Joe Warmington got involved, as he always does. So John Wing, the great Canadian stand-up, was on the show to chat about it with you, and it was a great combo.
I think he's very smart, John Wing, and great comic, and any excuse to chat with John Wing. I picked him. I'm like, I need to do this episode. I was going to do this with Gare. Gare was not ready to talk about this because he had a bigger piece that hadn't dropped yet. And I'm like, well, I want to do it now. I think I had to go camping. That's what it was. I was going to go camping. It's always camping. So I'm going camping. I need to do this before that. I can't wait for your big thing to drop. I'm going to do this with someone else then. And I just picked John Wing because he's a huge hockey fan, huge Leafs fan. He knows Ron. He's Canadian, even though he's living in the enemy territory there. But he's also just a good guy to talk to because he's a smart guy. Yeah, I enjoyed my chat with John Wing.
I would say whatever the situation is with Don Cherry, kind of a very sad end to just his career in media, if this is indeed the end. Just this really ambiguous, is this podcast he's doing because I guess he unceremoniously lost his other job because of some stuff. Is it the last episode? Is it not? We don't really know. And then, it's sadly at some point soon, he won't be with us anymore, and that'll be sort of his final, kind of the final whistle,
the final toodler.
We'll hold the rest of your Ron Don analysis for part 2.
There's
It's
more
coming up soon.
All right,
Okay.
Part 2.
The next episode is Graven or Graven.
I think it's Graven, like Craven.
I will admit that I did not hear this episode.
Okay,
so
well,
I have nothing to
you're
say.
not a real head. Get the fuck out of my basement here. Graven's he's your kind of guy. He's a
I'm sure,
singer, songwriter, and I know that I made a joke during the Graven episode about calling my lawyer Lauren Honickman, which is a line I drop quite a bit. One day it'll be on an FOTMcast. How often I drop the let me call Lauren, and he's been using it he's been in my Twitter. I'll post not Twitter. Sorry, what the hell's Twitter? Instagram, I'll post a pic and he'll go in and go, oh, what did Lauren say about this? Or did you consult Lauren about that? He's really running hard with the Lauren Honickman thing. So I'm like, okay, Graven liked that reference, and I would like to go get a beer with Graven.
Okay, Matty McKechnie, I believe, was his real name.
He sort of looks like who's that Vice guy?
Oh,
with the mustache. Gavin McInnes.
Gavin McInnes.
Oh, here's a photo of him with Stephen Stanley.
Oh, look at that.
Look,
yeah,
Stephen Stanley.
They did a tour together.
Okay,
that's
cool. Here's in Graffiti Alley. Okay.
So everyone should listen to Graven. Next up is
you guys didn't.
I'm going to.
Well, what makes you skip an episode? Because you have a pretty good batting average.
I try to listen to all of them.
You don't know Graven, first of all. That works against him.
Yeah. Yeah. If I don't know them, then I might
But you didn't know Cliff Thorburn.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I missed maybe 2 this quarter. And it's not anything against Graven. It's just time kind of gets in the way,
Understood.
Yeah. The next one is the Gong Fishing mockumentary.
Right.
Yeah. About the
I was going camping, so I put this together and dropped it before I went camping.
No topic has been explored in such depth as the Gong on Change of Heart's Smile album. And you really got to the bottom of this.
So this is the A to Z. If you want to know about this Gong that Gil Moore hit, produced by Bob Wiseman, this is the episode for you.
I would say.
Talk about targeting a very niche audience.
I would say that if you listen to the Gong Fishing documentary, you are a real head.
What percentage of podcast listeners in Toronto do you think know the band Change of Heart?
Podcast
There's no answer here, right?
Yeah.
There's no answer.
Small,
but,
very small.
right? I think
tiny.
Change of Heart. Oh, like they don't know Change of Heart, even though there
Tiny
were
fragment.
like Trigger and there were songs you know from the radio. But okay,
Sure.
So that's a small number of people who know Change of Heart. So trying to, hey, there's the album Smile, which, even less people know. And hey, there's a gong in there. But I wanted to put it all together because I think it's an important part of our history. And I did because I dropped it and then I went camping.
And you went camping.
And I called it gong fishing.
That's
I thought it was clever
It was
because
fun.
I'm gong fish. I'm fishing for the gong.
We get it.
But also I'm gone fishing.
Yeah.
See, Cam, how that works on two levels?
Like this. I should be the demo for this, and even I'm struggling to get.
The good news about this documentary is that it's very short.
Yeah, and we saw the three of us went to see
We did.
Change of Heart this year.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
Wait, if you don't, if you're not piquing Cam Gordon's interest,
I know it's a problem.
in this Change of Heart gong.
Yeah.
I think
who listened? I gotta go check those stats.
I think it's mainly when you asked Ian Blurton about this, he even seemed like he didn't really know.
That's in there.
Nobody knew.
That's in there.
Yeah.
But we did discover the Bobby Wiseman part.
That was a bit of a
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
Bobsy is how he's living. So you know what? Maybe less people are going to listen to the Gong Fishing episode than listen to this particular FOTM cast.
I would say I do know that this gong is mentioned in Michael Barclay's first, or I don't know if it's his first book, the Have Not Been the Same they did with Jason Schneider and the other guy.
Yeah, he mentions the gong.
It is in that. Yeah, it is in that book.
But he mentions the gong by Gilmore.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
I
take
didn't
a
know
photo
that.
of it when I'm home. I'll just send it to you. Yeah.
I actually didn't. I have to revise that episode. Like I need
Barkley
a
on.
Oh yeah,
comment.
yeah, it's there.
Okay, Have Not Been the Same is a great book.
One thing I want to say about Michael Barkley is that he's an excellent dancer. We saw him at the Change of Heart show, and he was grooving out there on the floor.
I see him at a lot of shows. He's living his best life.
Good for him.
And I subscribe to his newsletter, and it's very good.
Next up is Stu Stone talking about the
Never heard of him.
complicated legacy of one Hulk.
Oh wow, the Hulkster episode. Remember that was booked before Hulk died.
Yeah, what timing?
And then it became all about Hulk. And I think that was, Warts. I said to him, I said, Stu, I'm going to do this with you, and I'll give you as much time as you need, but I'm not going to just celebrate Hulk as a hero to us as kids. I said, we're doing warts and all. And he accepted that. And I think that was a very good portrayal of Hulk Hogan. The heights of Hulk, the depths, the warts and all. I was very proud of how that turned out.
Yeah, he's.
Now tell me you hated it, Cam. I need to know.
No, it was great. And like Stu obviously is the perfect guest, not just because he literally works in the wrestling industry now, but someone that I saw me and Stu Stone literally saw Hulk Hogan together back in the day too. So like it's sort of a lived experience. And I don't know, like even beyond all the racist stuff and all the kind of stuff with Gawker and whatnot. Like like Jesse Ventura has been very vocal about the stuff with the unions and stuff, but I mean the whole industry is so bizarre. I don't know, like it's almost hard to judge anyone in that industry because it's just there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
everything about like Vince McMahon is a complete like psychopath too. Speaking of like complicated legacies, and like Hogan, whatever he did, I think is very comparable to like what a lot of wrestlers did.
For sure.
Yeah, you put aside all the N-word stuff though, but
like even like Steve Austin, I like he had like domestic like issues, like domestic disturbances and whatnot that were very well documented, and seems everyone's okay with that now. Yeah. Like most of these guys and girls in some cases in that industry have, I don't know, it's a fucked up industry to make a living as much as I love it. But.
Cam, you don't see a lot of movies. I need to know if you've ever seen the movie Donnie Darko.
I have seen Donnie Darko.
Oh,
yes.
So you did see Donnie Darko. Okay. Did you know Stu Stone is in that movie?
I did know that, yes.
And he plays the best friend of Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Donnie Darko. And did you know there's a scene taking place on Halloween?
Absolutely. When I saw them, I'm like, oh my God, Stu, come on. Come on.
And who did Stu Stone's character dress as for Halloween in that movie?
Was a 4-time WWF champion, Hulk Hogan.
Okay. I rest my case.
Yeah. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
A case well made.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you guys? I mean, you were at the big event. I know that.
I've talked about it every episode.
Were you like a wrestler?
I was a big wrestling fan. Like,
did you see Hulk Hogan?
I saw him. I think I saw him once in Hamilton.
Okay.
And
Don't you dare miss it.
Yeah, and I had his autograph because my cousin worked for a time at the Royal York Hotel at the front desk.
Okay.
I biked by it today.
And Hulk was staying there and was checking in with him, and so he got Hulk's
Wow.
autograph for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I loved, he was like my guy, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do know. I saw him fight Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter
yeah.
at Maple Leaf Gardens specific. Because Kamala's like one of the few guys who actually like legit scared me. He had like that mask.
Oh, yeah.
and
He was terrifying.
He had the spear and Kimchi, the handler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. But a real
tonal change here.
He was a real
Yeah.
American.
That he was.
He is a real American.
Didn't we lose John Derringer? Or
Yes.
not John Derringer, Rick Derringer.
Rick Derringer.
John's
Yeah, yeah.
still with us, I
John.
believe. John Hayes is his real name, by the way.
That's right.
Rick Derringer, we did lose him
Yes.
recently.
Yeah, like this year. I
Yeah.
think.
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home.
Crazy.
Anything else to say about Stu?
No, just we love Stu.
We
He's
love
an
Stu.
FOTM Hall of
Yeah.
Famer, and he will be back, and we might hear his voice later in this episode.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Kathleen Robertson did not know who he was.
Oh, yeah, we heard that in the open.
We did.
That was a great moment.
Larry Klopot was next. And Larry is someone that's connected to me because he's a friend and work colleague of my dad's. And Larry, my dad,
Roger,
who
we sang Happy Birthday to at TMLX 19.
yeah, who's I see him every day. He said to me,
"Stop bragging."
He said, Larry is dealing with something. Larry's son died a little over a year ago, and he's really having a hard time, and he's thinking that he might want to do a podcast. So would Mike talk to him? And so I sent a note to you and asked if you'd be willing to have a chat with him, and you were kind enough to say yes. And so you chatted with Larry, and I'll let you take over, but you recorded.
I like it when you tell the story. I hear enough of my voice.
Yeah, but Larry recorded a podcast with you about the loss of his son and how he was dealing with it. It was basically his journal.
Yeah, he just read his journal entries as he dealt with the loss of his son, Alex.
Very powerful stuff to hear, like very raw, and like he and Arlene, his wife, are really dealing with. It was very sudden and unexpected. Their son Alex had some mental health challenges, and he sort of had an episode, and that was that, right? And Larry was with him when he died.
Larry saw it.
Yeah. And so that's a lot for anyone to process. And he is so grateful to you for helping him and encouraging him to record. And you've become very good friends with Larry.
I want to say Larry and Arlene have been to the last 3 TMLX events. So because they came to the Christie Pits, they came to the Great Lakes Brewery, and they came to the GLB Brew Pub last week. And I'm hoping they'll be at TMLX 21
No doubt they will.
November 29th. And I'm holding in my hand a Toronto Raptors hat and a Toronto Maple Leafs hat. And these hats belong to Larry and Arlene's son, Alex. And they were gifted to me when Larry came over to record this episode of Toronto Mic'd, which I called Coping with the Death of a Child. And I've heard from people who have lost a child who told me that episode helped them feel like they were not alone in how they were dealing with this loss. That all 3 of us are fathers, and we can't even fathom it. Like we can't even put our heads there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I could help Larry.
Yeah, he's a good man, and he's very, very grateful, and you have his undying thanks, and Arlene's as well. And Arlene happens to be the manager or the agent for Scott Thompson of Kids in the Hall,
Which is a wild coincidence.
On a lighter note. Yeah.
Well, that's a fun fact, absolutely. And that's how Scott Thompson ended up in the basement to make his Toronto Mike debut in 2025.
That's right.
Because of that connection.
Unreal. So you never know what will happen if you say yes to a conversation.
Oh, you know what? You're inspiring the fuck out of me, VP, right now. But I mean, even if Arlene did not know Scott Thompson, I would have said yes. Any human being who is hurting inside and needs to Zoom with me gets the fucking Zoom.
Let's put your number. What's the phone number? Let's put it out there.
You can't call my Zoom until I create it, okay?
You could like charge for this.
Mike at TorontoMike.com.
Like a grieving.
There you go.
That's right.
Anyway,
but that's an important series, and I'm glad we have it. And it's out there now. People can find it very easily. Larry Klopot's podcast series. It will help people.
I was going to say, again, I sort of mentioned off the top, but one more, like, don't never take for granted that we do these episodes at all, because I feel like every quarter that goes by, like, shit's hard out there, and there's all sorts of stuff happening. I feel like so many
Save
people
it for
I
the
know.
Ben episode.
Yeah. No, like, seriously, or people losing their jobs, or people dying, or accidents, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it's
a scary
people are hurting,
world.
and you
It's a
never
scary
know
world.
what people are dealing with.
Totally.
Like, you don't know if you met Larry, I'm 5'9", so when I meet Larry, Cam's right beside me. It's just the same thing with him. But these are tall guys, and they're big presence, and you just have no idea what people are dealing with. You have no idea.
true.
And sometimes you got to give people a break and cut them some slack, because you don't know what kind of a year they're having. You don't know what kind of a day they're having. You just don't know.
I think especially with like coworkers, where like it's a very transactional.
What's that like? I don't have any.
Yeah, it's just like
VP's my coworker.
That's right.
So I say all the time to like my boss or like my colleague, like, we don't know anything about this person.
Yeah.
It's just like,
you don't know what's going
on. We're just
on.
working here. This is just a transaction.
It's awful what happened to Larry and Arlene, and anything that can ease that pain, sign me up.
Absolutely. All right, moving on. Eric Corrine of The Athletic, Raptors writer.
It took a long time to make this come together.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, correct me if I'm wrong.
I will.
There was a little interaction like on Blue Sky where you and Eric were sort of tagged into the same conversation.
Maybe with Bruce Arthur?
Yeah, I think that's right. And you said he mentioned Eric, that Eric should do your show, and you said, "Oh yeah, I've invited him many times." And then Eric kind of got his back up a little bit, and then
he's like, "You haven't invited me lately," or something like that.
Anyway,
so back in the Twitter days, I definitely invited Eric over, and we were gonna do it. And then I can't remember why. Maybe it was car problems. I can't remember, but he politely took himself out of the calendar. Then a pandemic hit, and then I just sort of moved on, and I just took the hint. Maybe Eric doesn't want to come over, which is fair games. And then, that interaction on Blue Sky with Bruce Arthur, beloved FOTM, and he says, "You haven't asked me lately," so I'm like, "Okay, I'm asking you now." And then we set a date, and he came over. And Eric Corrine has a very dry wit to him.
Yes.
So he's like what I would call sneaky funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would.
And I like funny.
Yeah, I like that episode. I didn't realize, and there is apparently documented proof of this.
Right.
That he invented the term hot take.
Right. Did you know that, Cam Gordon?
Well, yes, because I did listen to his episode, so I did hear him put the claim on that one. I guess like he's like a day one guy at The Athletic.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He was hired before Myrtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, like, I do follow the NBA really, really closely, and like hoopsrumors.com. I look at he's like referenced a lot as like any Raptors stuff. He's quite often the guy they quote too, like when you're like Zach Lowe or someone like refer to someone.
Yeah.
So he's a big
He might have
fucking
signed
deal.
on with your former colleague, David Alter.
That sounds right. Yeah, 2016. I'm just looking at the.
Okay, and then
James. I think James Myrtle is not there anymore. Am I wrong?
You know what? That's news to me.
No, he's there.
Is he? Okay.
Sean Fitzgerald is no longer
He's
there.
gone.
Sean
yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And who was the older guy who wrote for the
John Lott?
John Lott's
Lott.
gone.
Yeah,
Long
like
gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
And
he retired, though.
Caitlin McGrath.
Caitlin McGrath left to go
she's
to
gone.
Tennis Canada, I think.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
So I got to address Brian Gerstein for a moment.
Please.
Gerstein, I think, felt like I had fallen away from the sports media episodes because I was heavy on sports media. I just quite frankly lost interest in talking to somebody from Sportsnet or whatever. Like, I just want to move on to other things, particularly musicians. I wanted to do other things. But I want to say this past quarter, we've already talked about Steve Simmons, Stephen Brunt, Scott MacArthur, J.D. Bunkus.
So much sports content.
And now we're talking about Eric Corrine, and there's more to come.
Are you not entertained, Brian Gerstein?
So Gerstein, we haven't even got to Damian Cox yet. There's more coming up here. My
so
goodness.
much more.
Gerstein, that's sports media content for you, okay?
Yeah. Directly, specifically for you.
Property in the 6.com.
We love Brian Gerstein.
And Gare Joyce. We're about to talk about it now.
Let's talk about Gare Joyce. Yeah, this is part 2 of the Ron versus Don, and this is directly from the source, the man who wrote I guess there were 2 stories that he wrote about.
There was
this
like
whole
one big story, but he did drop the early one was that there was an exit strategy, and we talked about how unwell Don Cherry was during that playoffs, and that he visited a hospital, as per Gary Bettman to Ron McLean or whatever.
Yes.
And it was interesting to hear how Gare Joyce, we talked about how he was literally just calling Ron McLean to talk about the cottage on Wolf. Speaking of Stephen Stanley, the cottage on Wolf Island that Don Cherry owned for decades, I believe, and then sold around that same time he was having the health struggles.
Right.
He sells this cottage on Wolf Island, and he says something about how his wife doesn't want to make that drive at night to Kingston or whatever anymore.
And then Ron just
sort of volunteers all this stuff, like health stuff you shouldn't talk about anybody in public, and the whole exit strategy, which I'm not sure that. I don't know. I got to talk to Ron about all this. But it was fascinating to talk to Gare Joyce about how the story came together and just how fascinated we are in this country with Ron and Don. Like, still.
Yeah.
Has Ron just been over the one time?
Yeah, just one time.
Just one time. Which is like 10 years ago.
Long time
probably.
ago. Long time ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, such giant personalities in the Canadian media scene, just because obviously hockey is so huge, and such a fixture in our homes on Saturday nights for so long, and then suddenly Don is gone.
And it was a smaller world, pre-internet, when you don't have an app on your phone. It was completely.
Those VHS cassettes. I mean, in stock. I'm like,
I got them all
Number 4, Bobby Orr.
Totally.
I can hear
Let's
Stu's
go.
voice doing
Let's
that.
go. Yes. Hockey man is what I am.
Every time I hear Sharp Dressed Man, I think of
when I played hockey when I was a kid, I was not good, and one night I decided that I was really going to get focused, and I laid on my bed with the lights out, and I listened to Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. I scored. I got a hat trick that night.
There you go.
That's a fucking wild story.
Yeah.
You waited this long to tell us that one. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you're not good, and you got a hat trick.
I got a hat trick, and then I was my leading team
Recently
leading
in this
scorer.
show, because I just think thoughts come in my head and I spit them out, but I just recently talked about my 0-15 year with the CN Towers playing in the Swansea Hockey Association. I did not score a goal that year. We went 0-15, and multiple people referenced it to me. So it was like they're bringing. I'm like, oh yeah, like the 0-15 year. I remember it well,
Really
but I didn't get no fucking hat trick. I would have listened to Sharp Dressed Man.
Yeah, and that was my routine then. After
I was
that,
busy watching the
every
video
night.
for legs over and over
Well,
again,
yeah.
thinking that would help me.
Sure.
Was this like the John Gallagher like sports news? I Want a New Drug was the intro music. Because I was listening to Huey Lewis this week for some reason.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does.
Or it's like a theme song for like George Michael's Sports Machine or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I used to watch George Michael's Sports Machine.
I feel like that's a theme song of like an 80s sports thing.
That would be a good theme song, actually, hearing that in the back. By the way, John Gallagher will come up soon. So,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So hold on to that one. We had a get Peter Gross back on the line. We had a mind blow early in an episode we'll talk about soon. Okay, time to talk about the only FOTM to have passed away this past quarter. We lost an FOTM this past quarter.
We did.
And the next episode I can see on the list here is I put together this like remembering FOTM Nick Panaseco, who was better known as Promo Man. And I put some of the stories in there. Can we pay our respect to Nick, the Promo Man, by listening to this clip from that episode? I'm worried people skip the episode not knowing the name Nick Panaseco, and they made a huge mistake. These stories were legendary. You want to hear one?
Let's hear it.
Please.
All right. I want to know, Nick, about your experiences with Bill Cosby.
Well, that was a classic because he overwhelmed me at the time. We had a group called the Spinners who were coming off of a hit Rubber Band Man opening for Bill Cosby, which was a little strange having a rock band, soul band opening for a comedian.
Yeah.
But we decided I would give him a nice box of cigars, Cuban cigars. So he ended up opening the box, getting a cigar and calling me over to the side and telling me that next time that he ever performs, he doesn't want the N-Boys opening for him.
So he called these guys the N-word.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I was a little shocked and taken back. And actually, a couple of spinners wanted his autograph, and he basically slucked them off and wouldn't sign anything for him.
Wow.
I never thought I'd hear a bad word about Bill Cosby.
Wow. That's
Who would have
shocking.
thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
So add racist to the list
Yeah.
of Bill Cosby things. Okay. So that was just a minute of that episode, but there's a lot of wild stories. I played in a previous, I think when he first passed away, I played the Keith Moon clip, which I have loaded up, but I won't play it again for time purposes. But go revisit that episode, remembering Nick Panaseco, the promo man. We lost him, and my condolences to his friends and family.
Yeah, great stories and a textbook Grout episode.
Yes,
really.
Yes.
Just filled in a lot of gaps. If you care at all about any of the shit that you do down here, Mike, this was like it fit right in like a jigsaw puzzle piece. Loved it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, R.I.P. Nick.
Shout out to Ridley.
Shout out to Ridley.
Yeah,
Funeral
and
Home.
Cosby. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe Cosby
America's dad.
Put the
said
bill-
that
the
about
bills in the people.
Spinners. Good band. They have some big hits.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Spinners.
Oh, the Spinners. Yes.
Yeah.
That song's apparently sampled in a Girl Talk album. I'm just
really?
looking at who sampled because I thought there was like a more famous.
Girl Talk
pop
did
song.
come up with a certain FOTM we can talk about soon because
Oh.
I played some Girl Talk for Paula Cole.
Oh yeah, that's
There
right.
you go.
Yes.
And she had never heard it, which I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where's my resids?
I think that was a free album. I
I
don't
was
know
gonna
how
say
you-
that's why I feel like that's why we don't hear from Girl Talk.
illegal. Well, he called it the label. He called it illegal art.
Illegal art.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. I
Well-
saw Girl Talk live in Austin, Texas once.
Okay, that's an interesting story.
I saw him at the Phoenix.
Okay.
Okay.
Good stuff.
We're all fans,
terrible
right?
show. It's like him and a laptop. Like it was,
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
like this. It was
Yeah.
like this.
hey, we saw a famous band that was just a guy in a laptop.
That's right. Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Band in a box.
Andrew
Stand in the
Budziak, the nature photographer.
Oh, this was a Tom Hobson recommend.
Yes, Tom of Tom and Gord fame.
Who was at TMLX 20.
That's right. They
and
were
I hope he's at TMLX 21.
They were jetting off to Ecuador and the Galapagos right after.
What a life they live.
So glad those guys could get away. It seems like they
They never-
You know,
they
this
never
is
tried.
What a
years
life.
in the making.
Yeah.
This trip.
What a life.
Anyway, I really enjoyed this episode. Andrew Budziak is a photographer who specializes in taking photographs of wildlife throughout the city, of which there is quite a bit. He the one thing I took away from this episode,
very wholesome.
Yeah, very wholesome. The one thing I took away from this episode is that he is very adamant that you should not feed wildlife.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is a big thing for Andrew.
Yeah.
and
No
correct me.
shit.
Don't stop. And I think we did it. I said anyone who feeds the wildlife in this city is banned from TMLX
That's right.
events.
Yeah.
Good.
And I mean it.
Yeah, and then they should stop listening to this episode as well.
Well, Lauren already gave that warning.
Yeah.
But I love, as you know, did I ever mention on the show I bike the city?
You have mentioned it,
Did I ever
yes.
mention that?
Yes.
Okay.
Once
well,
in a while.
Fun fact. It's like, did I mention I'm a vegetarian? Well, that's not true. Okay, that's why I didn't mention it. But okay.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of, I see a lot of wildlife when you bike
Sure,
the city
yeah,
and
yeah.
kayak the city. I took that footage of those beautiful deer, okay, in my Humber River paddle recently. I loved hearing about all the wildlife that we have in this city. I want to know what I haven't seen that's out there. I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. And to your point, like if you go off the beaten path just a little bit, you'll see more wildlife than you can even imagine.
Beavers.
Yeah.
Minks.
That's right.
Have you guys ever
Squirrels.
seen a possum?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're talking about.
Possums. I have them here.
They're like nasty
Yeah.
little critters.
They're scary looking, but
They
they're
are.
apparently friends. They're good. They're good because I think they eat mice or something. Like
Yeah.
there's something they do
Yeah.
that would be something
That's
to be
right.
favorable. Like they're good. They're good animals to have around.
They are.
Keep going. Chipmunks, skunks,
Yeah.
raccoons,
Foxes, coyotes.
deer, of
Sure.
course. Coyotes. You said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun the wildlife you can find out there.
Love it. Yeah, that was a fun episode. Ashwin Singh.
Yeah, stand-up comic,
Yeah.
funny guy, interesting story, and he does this. I don't want to butcher it, like some kind of a Hindi singing. I don't remember the.
Yeah, he has a great voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that visit.
Yeah. He was great. He was very funny. He was about to do a headline show for Just for Laughs.
Right.
Wow.
He's a rising. We're catching a rising star. So it's like, oh yeah, my podcast back in 1980 when I had that Jim Carrey on. Like
Bill
you got to catch
Cosby
him on their way up. And good on you, Ashwin, because I thought it was
fellow.
Yeah. There was a lot of time spent on the correct pronunciation.
Well, I do that.
Ashwin.
I've got some bad habits.
Fair enough. Breaking news from the live chat, by the way. Andy says that Andrew Budziak went to the same high school as her and Ken Dryden.
Huge of truth.
Wow.
Okay, hold that Ken Dryden fire. He's coming up in this show.
We'll get to Ken.
That's ECI.
That's right. Next up,
my nephew goes there. Shout out to Nate.
Very good. Very good. Next up is the great official historian of the TMU, Jeremy Hopkin, talking about the Sunnyside Pavilion.
I'm drinking it right now, my Sunnyside IPA.
Love this episode as I do every J-Ho episode. Learn so much. I really, I'm close to the Sunnyside Pavilion, and I go past it quite often, but I've never gone in, and I feel like I need to now.
Absolutely. We'll do it together.
Okay.
And we'll film the whole fucking
Wonderful.
thing. I got to say hi to J-Ho because he came to TMLX 20 and he wore the suit and the hat.
Always so well dressed.
Sure. So have you ever swam there?
I never have.
Pool?
No.
Okay. I've been in the pool there. Like, it's quite an experience.
It's a cool.
Yeah, I've been there.
Cool
a couple
spot.
times.
Let's do an FOTMcast
Group
swim
swim
next
live
would
from
you?
the.
I would totally do that.
I'm going to start doing sit-ups right now, so
Strip
I got a
to the
six-pack
waist,
when I do that. See, Cam's got a six-pack because there's no flesh on that belly. I can tell just right here.
That's right.
It's all muscle.
Yeah.
So
Anyways.
let's do that for sure.
Part of our history.
What else? I went to J-Ho's event too, which was pretty good. I believe that was the last quarter up by the Lee Side Aerodome.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay. Just think about this for a minute, and I'm speaking to the 100 or less real heads who are actually listening to us right now. This is important. J-Ho's just a guy who came to an event at Palma's Kitchen.
That's right.
I didn't know what a Jeremy Hopkin was. So a guy, a well-dressed man, like anybody who comes to a TMLX at Palma's Kitchen, that's where I do the live recording. He pops on the mic to say hi. He tells us about who he is. He listens. He loves the show. He's this historian guy. Next thing you know, he's on the podcast every single quarter.
Unreal. Yeah.
That's how it happened.
The official historian.
That's right.
The official historian of the Toronto historian.
I learned so much from him.
You learned a lot.
I knew who he was because I had followed him on Twitter because he used to post these historical black and white photos that he had colored.
Oh, half of it would be old.
Yeah.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah.
I remember that too.
And I was like,
Oh
oh
my
shit,
goodness.
you're that guy. And look at us now.
And now he's such a core member of the TMU.
Absolutely.
Next to Andy, I'd say he's the most important pillar.
I would say every time I see him, I always, because as you guys know, I have this track changes thing, so I always talk about sort of cultivating, online content and archives and whatnot. And we were talking about the Internet Archive, but also how the proliferation of all these like sort of shitty like Toronto history, and you see the same photos on every one. It's like Joseph Bloor, and it's
because no one's
the
putting
world's
in the
biggest
time.
bookstore.
Yeah, nobody's putting in the time and effort to create original content.
No.
They're just recycling what they find of a quick Google search.
Well, like Jeremy and I we were talking about both of our visits to the Toronto Reference Library, just looking for stuff, and there's a treasure trove of stuff up there.
You got to put in the work, though.
Yeah, it's not even that much work. It's
People
like
are lazy.
you take your phone, you like take a bunch of photos.
You
of
say
shit,
it's
you
not
put on
that
the
much
internet.
work, but these people with this farming out this content, they just need something quick at their fingertips on the Google
Between
machine
this
or
and
whatever.
like the fucking AI slop, it's like where is this all heading? This is heading nowhere.
Don't get me started on the AI slop. My goodness gracious.
You see stuff. The leader of the free world has been like tweeting out the last few days.
Some
Just
news
like,
thing.
What the fuck are we doing? Like, what
Does he think he made that speech? That's my concern.
I think maybe.
It's like, what is
It
going
doesn't even
on?
exist. Oh my goodness.
We had like "Don't Fear the Reaper." I don't know if you saw this.
That's right.
video.
Yeah, I saw that today. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
I didn't even
like,
see that one.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great, but think about that podcast that was searching YouTube for bare naked ladies snow job and ends up learning about the relationship
That's
between
how it
snow.
should work.
That's original.
That's
you know
how
how
we
hard
do
I
it.
worked? I had to get Snow in the fucking basement, get him comfortable,
Credit
get
where
him
it's due.
talking, and then it comes out, and now you can find it and reference it. But somebody's got to put in that work.
Snow and Paige co-episode win.
You know what's? You just reminded me. We just had talked about Steve Simmons in the basement again this past
let's get
quarter.
him in there too.
Steve Simmons is Stephen Page's cousin.
Yeah.
So Stephen Page is connected to Scott. Scott. So
Scott McCarthy.
Steve Simmons is connected to Stephen Page,
Yeah.
who is connected to Snow.
That's right.
But as far as I know, there's no relation between
Snow and
Steve Simmons and Snow,
Yeah.
because that would be a mind blow.
And where does Phil Kessel fit into all this?
Hot dog,
All
or
right.
as my daughter would say, before we pressed
She was
record, my
giving you the
daughter was
gears.
entertaining us. She goes, "Daddy, say hot dog." She says, because she is amused by the fact that I say hot dog, and that came up in a previous FOTM cast.
As are we.
Tyler, I feel like this has dropped off. We had the mic trigger words. I feel
Yeah.
like that thing that's like in a bun, that's like a tube steak. That would be one for this
For sure.
person over here.
Yeah. The
Hot dog!
Toronto Mike Triggers will be back. Not to fear. Not to fear. Okay, we got to move on.
This is a big one, though. This is a big one.
Colin Cripps.
Big one.
So what? I love this episode so much. Colin Cripps is just a fascinating guy. Just a real kind of connector in the Toronto.
Like,
he's great.
He's a musician.
Yes.
That guy is a fucking musician.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
True and
Part
true.
of some big bands we know and love.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got your
just like the through line.
Spoons.
He was in the that I didn't even know he was in the Spoons.
Well, that was a
fucking blew
Rob
me away.
Proust exclusive. I had no
fucking
idea either
crazy.
until Proust tipped me off.
Yeah. Crash Vegas.
Crash Vegas.
Your Junk House.
Junk House.
Your Blue Rodeo.
Blue
Stop.
Rodeo.
Yeah.
Stop. Too much.
Did we mention
Can't take
Kathleen Edwards?
Kathleen Edwards.
Oh.
Speaking of Kathleen Edwards, let's listen to Colin talking about his former lover, Kathleen Edwards.
So when you hear this song in the headphones, what are you thinking?
I was surprised at first, not because there was any animosity between us at this point. At the point that this song came out, Kathleen and I were together for 8 years. We're married. I devoted all that time to her and her work, and it's still a very, very fond memory for me. I'm very proud of the work that we did together, and I'm proud of her. And so I obviously have a lot of love for her. And when we split up, it was tough for a couple of years. I couldn't really have that connection. It was hard to, there was definitely some healing to be done. And but when we started to reconnect, it was on all the good things that happened in a relationship where we done this great work together, and we still loved each other. And so when I heard this song, it's like she essentially, she auditions a lot of her material to me even now before she makes the records, or she's kind of like, I think she honors our relationship that way. And so when she first played me this song, at first I was kind of laughing about it. I went, okay, well that's, that is it's an honor to be part of somebody's work. And I'll never lose that feeling about it. And I think it's a great song.
This is a candidate for episode of the quarter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many eras of Canadian, the Spoons through Kathleen, the track changes era of Kathleen Edwards. That's like 25 years of Canadian music.
Yeah.
Very almost like Forrest Gump. You were there for all.
And let me ask you this. Is there a bigger Canadian band? Well, I say this, but then I think maybe the answer is something like Nickelback or whatever. But is there a bigger Canadian band now that the Tragically Hip are no more than Blue Rodeo? Wouldn't that be our biggest band right now?
They're in the conversation for sure. Yeah.
Especially in Canada.
Well, big in terms of what?
In terms of tickets they could sell. I'm talking about a band. A band, that tickets they could sell to see them live.
And number of people who would say I like Blue Rodeo. I'm a Blue Rodeo fan.
Yeah. I don't think you get a lot of people, that band fucking sucks. I hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a pretty high approval
Make
rating.
it as simple as asking a Canadian resident, they don't have to be a citizen, do you like Blue Rodeo? I feel like that would be the most yeses in terms of bands would be Blue Rodeo.
Agreed.
Totally. They get a different reaction Bare Naked Lady, certainly Nickelback, even someone like the Arkells, I feel like
Right.
I'm sorry for like on the Arkells.
It's
but
Blue
like
Ro- I think it's Blue Rodeo.
Yeah.
Why would you
And
dislike
they
them?
sell out the Budweiser stage and they
Yeah.
sell out
Massey
Massey
Hall.
Hall.
Yeah.
I think it's Blue Rodeo. And
Do
Colin
gigs.
Cripps is a member of that band.
Did before we leave Kathleen Edwards, did you guys? I think it was this quarter, kind of her news cycle. She had moved to Florida.
Yeah,
I did hear
that
about
was sort of
that.
really interesting because she was pretty unapologetic about it. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
Mike, you have your own feelings about anyone even step foot in the U.S. right now, and here's
Well,
one of our.
I should clarify, like
great
for
musicians.
pleasure purposes, like if you own property or you have family there, I know Rush Mike had to go because he married an American who had to go visit her family and stuff.
Sure.
Like or
Yeah.
work. Like
Sure.
if Wilner has to go see the Buffalo. Thank you. Well, the Buffalo Bisons because the Toronto Star
Right.
wants him to write about them for his Blue Jay work. Like so, for work purposes, family purposes, maybe you own property down there. I can understand. I don't love hearing about people going down there for like a good time and then coming back. Like spend your entertainment dollars in any other country, maybe here at home in Canada. Okay, you can do it. I'm not your boss. I'm not the boss of you. I'm not the boss of you, but I don't have to like that you do that.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. You don't have to like
Just wanna be
anything.
clear.
Here's someone who moved outright. So
Yeah.
she's had an interesting career because she did the coffee shop thing.
Yeah.
Quitters that
yeah.
close up, and now she's down in
Yeah.
a new album.
And the context around Colin Cripps and Kathleen Edwards' relationship is that she left him and then started a relationship with Justin Vernon from Bon Iver.
It's a big fucking deal.
Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And then that relationship ended.
Soured.
And then she and Colin didn't obviously romantically reconcile, but they came back together. They were working together again. They were playing together, and it was very nice to see.
Yeah.
You know,
What a mature take that he
Well, that's the
had
thing. I
on
felt with Colin, I felt like I could ask him anything.
well, and he
Like,
said you were sort of a little trepidatious about kind of broaching the subject with him, and he said, "Yeah, you can ask whatever you want." It's
yeah,
fine."
because Kathleen Edwards, if people don't know and haven't heard yet, like Kathleen Edwards wrote a song about him, like basically
That's right.
thanks for the 7 years.
Yeah, the song is called Glenfern, which
Right.
incidentally is a street in Hamilton. It used to be
That they lived on.
Yeah, they lived on that. My ex-wife lived on a street, and Glenfern was at the
And
top.
you
of
wrote a
that
song
street.
called Glenfern.
I did write a song about Glenfern also about my ex-wife.
It's on your
And,
SoundCloud.
That's
So
right.
I just
Check it out.
want you to know in my Google Doc, I have highlighted this episode as a potential episode of the quarter.
It's in there.
Because
It's
now
in
that
the
I'm
mix.
thinking about it, I remember it was stellar. The
Yeah.
Colin Cripps episode of Toronto
Yeah.
Mike. That guy hit it out of the park.
It's kind of a rare combination. It's in some ways it's Grout, but like he's also just a big fucking deal too.
Mhm. Yeah. Played with everybody, like a top grade guitarist.
But he was an OG Junkhouse guy before, because he was
I don't think he played
Dan
on-
Aiken. He was
Yeah.
best friends living with Dan Aiken. I
That's right.
think
Yes,
they
he
were
was.
very, very, very close. Him and
Yes.
Dan Aiken. Like he wasn't, but he could have been. He was there to be an OG Junkhouse.
He was in bands with all those other guys.
Yeah.
He wasn't in
He was
OG
there.
Junkhouse.
No, he
But
wasn't.
then he came.
But he came in after
Dan
for-
passed away. Yeah.
After that first album, after Strays, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's
he,
right.
he joins after Dan, and that would be during his next visit. We could spend more time talking about
He's
Dan
so
Aiken.
like grouty. I was about to say he was also at the Change of Heart show that we saw. It was not him. It was Glenn Milcham.
Right.
I was gonna say he
Well, he was a
dated.
member
He
of the
also
band,
dated Michelle McAdory. It's like it was not him. It was Greg Keeler.
Right.
dated
Right.
Michelle
Yeah.
McAdory.
Right.
But again, he's just this through line through like all this
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
So
Yeah.
glad I got him over.
Yeah, that
here.
was I really enjoyed.
very
that.
humble too.
Yeah,
What a
just
good guy.
sweet guy.
easy to talk to
Good
him.
guy.
Okay, this next one's heavier.
Yes, Shai Klein. So he was present at the music festival on October the 7th. When that anniversary, 2-year anniversary, is coming up in a few days. And he told you the harrowing account of his experience at that festival on that day, and it was really quite a gripping conversation.
Cam, did you hear that episode of Shai Klein?
I heard about 10 minutes of it, and I got. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember
You gotta be
much
honest here.
beyond sort of
Safe space.
the drama of it, of what I heard. Obviously, a very heavy topic. I knew going in.
Well,
It's
that's
like,
his heavy. Like he was at the Nova Music Festival, and the way he tells the story, like I just sat back and let him go. I was like, cancel my 4:00. Like however long he needed. The way he told the story too. He talked about taking psychedelics because that was the EDM music
Sure.
and it was part of the culture and all this. And he talks in such fascinating detail about when he saw, what was it? They hear the shots and basically play by play of what it was like to be in his shoes on October 7th in Israel. Horrific.
But also they're like living history.
And
Like,
he
this
took
happened.
photos, right? He kept taking photos in a film camera, by the way. That's I'm like, I had to stop down and like, so it was a film camera.
Yeah.
It wasn't a digital camera, but he took these photos, and some of these photos are people who died.
Sure.
Are no longer with us. And a lot of people did reach out to say that thank you for that conversation with Shai Klein. So the origin story was I told it, I think, to him, but I'll just tell it again really quickly, is that I was invited to a frozen pizza opera, like an opera for Dr. Oetkers. Okay. So they said, hey, come to the TD Music Hall, which is attached to Massey Hall. And we're going to put on an opera, and it's for Dr. Oetkers frozen pizza. And I guess I was like, okay, I'm going to bike over and do this thing. Like I just was going to do it just because I was curious who's there, what is the vibe like, and I had the time to do it. So I bike over, I'm there. Everyone's dressed up like they're going to the opera.
Yeah.
Like these are younger than me. I was the oldest guy there, I think, but everyone's dressed up like they're going to the opera because we're going to see an opera with real opera people, but it's about frozen pizza.
It says PR stink all over it.
Yeah, not to be an asshole, but like 15 years ago, I invited you to fucking Burke's for like the diamond encrusted LG phone, open bar food. You won't come to that, but this fucking frozen pizza opera like schlock. Like what the fuck? You got 4 kids? Like what? I don't get it. I think you were living downtown when I invited you to Burke's. You were living across from the strip club. It was like 1 block over at Burke's. Jesus Christ. Sorry. It's just open up wounds.
Yeah.
Pizza.
At some point, completely ignoring you became a sport. And like I started enjoying
my God.
it.
It's crazy.
Like
I do like you still have the emails too.
I kept them all. I don't delete it. Not since 2004.
So, anyway.
Okay, so just to put a bow on that story is I'm there. Much younger people than I are dressed to the nines like they're going to an opera, and I'm like, I really couldn't believe. I was taking these mental notes like, oh fuck, like was I supposed to dress like I'm going to a fucking opera for frozen pizza? Like, because I was in my biking.
You don't even own a collared shirt.
I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt because I'd biked over.
So this was sort of like, do you remember that thing, Fake Prom? They used to have people. They had it on the boat, the floating restaurant, Captain John.
Captain John's.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
But like
I have something for the fact check.
But like it would
that.
sort of like hipsters would dress up like they're going to prom. Like this is sort of what it sounds like. This is
well. This is okay. So I guess I don't know. I'm there.
You went to this. But...
Yeah, I did go to this. I think I went to it because I was like, oh, they were going to give you a beer and free pizza.
Yeah, I mean,
and I said, I'll bike over, see this opera. Beer.
I get it.
But they're much younger, much better dressed. They're all doing like it's all about the gram, right? They're all taking these selfies with this background, like everything. And I'm like, holy shit!
Did you recognize anyone?
Yeah, I did recognize a guy. I recognize a couple of people from back in the day. Crap, I can't remember.
Zach Bussey.
No, but who was in that
Casey
group?
Stewart.
Yes.
Was she really? Oh my God. Okay.
Casey Stewart was 100% there. I'm like, oh, I'm in a time warp.
Raimi the Minx, was she?
No, she wasn't there. But Casey Stewart was there. I'm like, oh, it's like 20 years ago. Nothing's
Cool.
changed.
I like
Okay.
her.
But then I saw a guy named Joel Levy. Joel
Levy.
Let's go with Levy.
Yeah.
And I remember he was working with TELUS on a campaign where they took me to the gold medal game, Canada versus Russia World Junior Championships at the ACC.
Oh.
And they gave me a jersey and they gave me a seat. We won that game. Connor McDavid scored a goal. Max Domi scored a goal.
Wow.
Quite a exciting game, actually. And I remembered him from that. And then we're just shooting the shit about these young people dressed to the nines for this fucking frozen pizza opera. I'm like, where the hell am I? And then he told me about his cousin, who is a survivor of October 7th and is a Canadian-Israeli guy, and he's coming back or something. And I just said, would he come over and tell his story? And that's how Shai Klein ended up in the basement.
My God.
Who would have thought?
Okay, that was a long way around. But how would you dress if you were going to a PR thing for frozen pizza? They were launching Dr. Oetkers, and they said it's an opera at the TD Music Hall. How would you dress?
So it's like black tie quality.
First of all, I'm not going to that.
What about free beer and pizza? No?
Yeah, maybe. It
was a good bike ride.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed it.
How was the opera, by the way?
Oh, it was opera-y. Like, it was a professional singer. The good singers,
Yeah.
I don't know. They were singing about, like, I can't remember anymore, but something about how this, I don't remember, but the plot was about the pizza in the oven. Oh, yeah, the guy was fictional. It was like a single woman who had this fantasy guy, this Italian fantasy guy, who somehow the pizza got involved. I fucking can't remember, man.
Yeah.
But this happened.
This feels Kirkland 4390.
Okay,
Pizza
but
Nova.
the pizza was pretty good, Doctor. And I just said Dr. Oakhurst 20 times in this episode of Toronto Mike,
Yeah.
which will be listened to by dozens of people.
That's right. What did you think of that venue, by the way?
I've been in that venue. I was in that venue on the red carpet when they had the rock.
Canadian songwriters.
Canadian Rock of Fame.
The Canadian Rock.
So
Yeah.
my friend
Alan Frew.
Alan Frew for sure, because I was in the elevator with him and he said,
"Sure,
who gave me the lasagna?" He said, in a Scottish accent. No, whatever the fuck I just did.
Don't forget me
All
when
right,
I'm
we got to
gone.
guys. We got to cook here, man. So we're not just cooking frozen pizza on the show, but if you know me,
Perfect
if I'm
segue.
gonna eat pizza, you know where I'm going? Palma's Kitchen.
Palma's
You guys know that, right? Hey, do
Yeah.
you guys want a lasagna? Do you guys?
I would love one.
I'll take a.
I have a Palma pasta
Is it
lasagna.
beef?
I have beef. It's pure 100% beef. Absolutely.
Just a block of beef.
it's just beef.
Whole cow.
It's just beef, man. Just beef.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Palma.
We got to move on.
Thank you.
Bree Taylor.
Bree Taylor.
Taylor. I did not listen to Bree Taylor. How was it? How was that?
She was fun.
Good.
She's an up and coming country singer, and she's got spunk, and she dresses sort of like a rocker chick, but she's country, and I can see why you'd skip it. But when she's winning CMAs and all, when she's a big fucking deal, like Tate McRae in a couple of years, you're gonna be like,
Is she wearing like a leather vest?
Yeah.
Is this the-
a bustier?
you got it, brother.
Is this the first guest to ever wear a leather vest?
I think more people viewed the photo than listened to the episode.
Who and
The video is very popular.
Bree Taylor, real heads only.
who is she connected to? Like this seems like she might have had a connection, or does someone pitch?
No,
you, or-
I was pitched her,
Yeah.
and I know it was convenient to have an hour chat with Bree Taylor
Sure.
in the basement. I'm glad I did it because one day
Mix it
she'll
up.
be a big star. And you know what drew me in? I remember now. Sorry, you're jogging my memory. What drew me in is that she's deaf or almost deaf. Like, so I was really drawn in by this rocky country chick who wears hearing aids because she can barely hear.
Huh.
Like, I just thought that's interesting
Yeah,
for a singer who has such a major hearing disability.
For sure.
Absolutely good for her.
So that was like, that's what drew me in.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep an eye on Bree.
Keep an eye on Bree Taylor.
Next up is an episode that I did listen to. Damien Cox.
Finally.
Oh my God.
Okay, Brian, you take a note.
Just
Damien
a selfie's
Cox.
okay.
Just a selfie's okay for now.
Never gets
What did
old
you guys
for
think
now.
of his return?
I always love the chats you and Damien Cox have. I always despised Damien Cox's columnist persona, but every chat that you have with him is
Do I humanize the beast?
you humanize the beast. And it sounds like he's doing well. It sounds like he's not super involved in sports. He's not writing a lot these days, but he seems like he's living his best life and seems
Listening to Coldplay?
seems was not crusty.
I mean, if you care to hear Damien Cox in that kind of an environment, I don't think there's anywhere else you can go. Like, I think I'm the only one who's
guarantee
put
it.
in that energy to create that
It's
dynamic.
like he looked fit as a fiddle too.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he's like just
He
healthy.
plays tennis.
Looks
Am I
sleek.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked good.
So there you go. I think, and the reason I invited Damien over is because I had such a good time with Steve Simmons.
Sure.
I'm like, I need some more. I hit another hit of this.
Yeah, that same
Little
vintage.
dopamine.
And I'm like, it's only. By the way, there will be a Hebsy episode
Aha.
in the next quarter.
All right. New-
Because he's got a book
new
coming out,
for sure.
Good.
and I am in the new book.
Very exciting.
Not just referenced in a story, but I'm also a photo of me is in this
Whoa.
book.
It's about like why is sports media shit?
Yeah,
or
the
something,
rise and
isn't it?
fall of Canadian sports
Okay.
media.
Yeah, I look forward to reading
Yeah.
that.
We'll definitely
And
read that.
look for Hebsy
Yep.
next quarter.
Next up, Tom Brown.
Okay.
Tom Brown.
Formerly of CTV.
Toy Mountain.
Toy Mountain guy.
Tom Brown brought his fiancee with him,
And he
Daisy.
couldn't be happier.
Daisy.
The happiest man.
One of my favorite episodes of the quarter was Tom Brown and Daisy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great energy from those two, and Daisy particularly. And he's just so fucking happy.
Yeah.
And it was like days before their wedding. They've since been married.
Yeah. Saw those wedding pictures.
Glimmer in his eye.
Yeah.
He just like this guy's like he knows he won this lottery. He's
Yeah.
got this beautiful woman.
That's the way it should be.
Just and Tom Brown, who he's just a ball of energy, but he's fun to talk to. And he gave me the whole story. And there's a Price is Right component, and I found the whole thing pretty good. I think that's also a candidate for episode of the quarter.
Very
I really
fun.
like the Tom Brown episode.
Very fun episode. Yeah. Next up was you on our good friend JD's Tragically Hip Top 40 Countdown. You ripped this one from his feed and dropped it in yours. So
with his permission.
Of course, with his permission. So
Of course, I'd probably do it anyway. I did this episode. I'm taking it. But I did ask him.
Yeah.
He asked you.
That's right. And he's having his big event on Saturday night.
Tomorrow.
And he's revealing the number one song. So that's it's very exciting.
The number one song is either Grace 2 or Ahead by a Century.
It's probably Ahead by a Century.
I think for sure.
I hate to say, is this going to conflict with the Jays game or?
Well, I'm not. I got other plans for the Jays game.
The Rec Room.
It's right.
Oh, so it's right outside.
Right there. Yeah.
Wow.
So, well, that's interesting, right? Because this event with JD is a 7:00 start by the Dome, and the Jays game is 4.
Yeah.
So things they could bump into each other. But I'm biking, so I don't give a fuck.
Cross pollination could happen.
But I have other plans before I go to the 7:00. I'm with my oldest for a couple of hours. So I think really I'm like offline from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
So at 7:00 I'll check my phone and you know what? I'll check the fans' reaction.
Yeah,
you'll
be right there.
I'll be right there on my bike.
Yeah.
I hate to say, like, whenever I think of that venue, I just think of drunk Kelly Gruber. Just making Ashley Docking.
Did you know Ashley Docking is a dear friend of JD Bunkus?
I did not know that.
Do you think that's any reason he was a little bit
maybe
the vibes were off? Like maybe he got bad press from Ashley.
Was hers a weird episode or
a little bit?
Yeah, there's a little bit of weird energy there.
Once in a while, I hit a wobbler. Like they're not all home runs on Toronto Mike, but sometimes Ashley's one that I think I'd like back. But I mean, I did my best, but it just the vibes were off.
Yeah,
possibly.
Sometimes you just
I told her how to make the lasagna. As I recall, and she said I was mansplaining how to make
lasagna.
The Palma pasta lasagna.
The main thing is I met Lloyd Mosby that day.
That's
Kelly Gruber was drunk.
all
So
that
that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Oh, and the late Dr. Ron Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Whose son I got to interview for a client of mine.
Yeah.
Shout out to
my dad was very excited. Fellow North Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Who was a woman who was on Toronto Mike whose aunt was a victim of Hamas killed?
She did the doc.
She did the doc on. She did the doc on Ontario Place.
Ali Weinstein.
Thank you. Yes,
right.
She worked on that documentary about Dr. Baseball with Ron Taylor's son.
Okay.
It all comes back to that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So where are we at
We're
exactly?
about
Tom Brown. Okay. The Tragically Hip. So JD had me on. I talked about Fiddler's Green.
Yeah.
We recorded a very long time ago, and I'd forgot everything about it. And when I listened, it was like I'd never heard it before.
Yeah.
So it was it's very
fun.
exciting to hear yourself on a podcast that you don't have a clue what song you're kicking out, let alone what you're going to say.
That's right.
Okay.
Good time.
Emily Whedon.
I didn't hear this episode. I have nothing to say about it.
Oh, you know what? You're going to lose your gig. Okay.
Look, I'm like 100%.
Emily Whedon was surprisingly interesting, and it was a delightful chat. She's connected.
Surprisingly.
She's connected in ways you wouldn't imagine.
Now, is she a friend of Blair Packham? Is that how that?
I can't remember, but I don't remember exactly if she came in through Blair Packham. But guests do come in through Blair Packham. That could have happened. I don't think this was through Blair Packham.
She writes all those dystopian novels, does she not?
Yeah, she wrote a book about Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens. Yeah, Homo sapiens.
I was going to say almost a
Homo
Jane
sapiens.
Goodall. I thought you were going to say.
Yeah. Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens.
Because I told her I had a hematologist appointment the next day.
Homo sapiens.
Emily was great, and I got notes from people who know her, like Blair. I don't think she came through Blair actually, but people like Alan Zweig. She was in an Alan Zweig movie. Emily Whedon, better than you'd think, and you might want to check that out.
Interesting.
I will.
Check it out.
Okay, and the next one was a thing I couldn't get out of my head on bike rides, and I had to throw it down.
Songs that mention Toronto or TO.
No, it couldn't mention T.O. Like the whole idea was it had to say the name Toronto.
Toronto.
This came in my head because of the Kings. So that's where it started.
Toronto.
The way they said Toronto's referenced. And then I started thinking about songs that say the name Toronto, and then I had to throw down all the ones I could think about. I'm sure I missed a bunch, but I just threw it together, and it's kind of a fun listen. I think maybe. I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
Sneaky man of hip hop the last 10 years. Toronto mentions.
Right. Like Akon, I think. And
also, speaking of which, this isn't quite mentioning Toronto. Did Neil play Ambulance Blues?
Yeah, he
Was that
opened
the
with
first?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was before Langer went down. That's
that's right. Langer heard that.
That was the
That's
first
a great song. Like,
and
it's
that's a
like,
great
oh,
song
shit.
about the Riverboat Cafe.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Riverboat was rocking.
Yeah.
The Elizabeth and they tore
Jive alive.
Isabella, they tore you down.
Yeah.
Real Jeremy Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
Song.
Let's
Name
have a
drops.
Jeremy Hopkins breakdown.
Okay, Jeremy, if you're listening, we want an Ambulance Blues episode. Okay, so
Martin Popoff.
That brings us to Martin Popoff, which was one I threw together very quickly because I heard he was taking he's got problems with the tariffs, and he has his mail order book side of his business. He was going to take his site down, and I wanted to hear what was going on with Popoff and Trump's tariffs.
Let Popoff.
So what did you think of Martin Popoff?
I enjoyed it. He's a fascinating character, like just so dedicated to writing books about metal. And obviously, like, it's a real cottage industry for him. Like, he's clearly got hardcore fans who are just happy to, scoop up whatever he's putting out.
Like, it's like Deep Purple, like 1975 to 1970, just so specific,
niche.
but he's just like a machine, like churning.
He's
These
got a
things
lot of
out.
Rush books too. He's got a lot of books, hundreds of books.
Super cool.
So Popoff, who I wanted to get him back on, and we did it.
I thought that was sort of a rare one because that was right in a news cycle of like, what are the real effects?
That's right.
And it was sort of interesting. Here's like a small business owner, and it's really fucking this guy up in some ways.
Yep.
So to hear it firsthand was super interesting.
I learned
beyond the fact he's writing about music.
Yeah,
too.
I learned about de minimis from Martin Popoff's episode, which was the law where they don't charge duty on goods.
Like the $800.
Yeah. So
we learned a lot from Martin Popoff.
We did.
The next one was a toast, which we do every single month.
Yep.
Always a good time
Rob
to
and
hang
Bob.
with Rob and Bob. Okay, and Lyndon McIntyre.
Yeah, he was great. What a character, and it really felt to me like he was leaning into the East Coast accent on your episode.
Well, want to hear a bit of him?
Yeah,
so I pulled a clip because so I thoroughly enjoyed Lyndon McIntyre.
No,
and
MF listened to this one.
And I know it's a good one because when I go on these bike rides and I revisit things and I think about things, and there was one little story he shared I couldn't get out of my head, so I carved it up and put it on YouTube. It's just 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But this is the story. Oh man, get goosebumps even thinking about it. So listen to Lyndon McIntyre in the basement with me in this past quarter.
I went underground myself when I was in university. I needed the money for, so it's summer work. I would work. And one summer in the northeast coast of Newfoundland, I was working underground. I had my 19th birthday underground. It was an overnight shift. And I remember the next morning, my father came into the room. He was living in a different part of the camp. He came into the room, and I was still in bed because it was overnight, and the door opens, and this guy clumped into the room, and he says, "Here's your happy birthday," and he threw my birthday present on the bed. And the birthday present was 2 packages of Export A's. So anyway, I got up, and I opened one. We each lit a cigarette.
Yeah.
I can still see him because it was we didn't have a lot of meaningful conversations, but this one was. And I can still see him tapping the ashes into an empty Coke bottle. And eventually, at a crucial part of the conversation, he dropped the cigarette into the Coke bottle, and I can still, as I sit here in your studio, see the smoke rising up out of the Coke bottle.
It's amazing what moments sort of stick with you.
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
He says, I had just completed my first year of university. And he says, "Did you get your marks yet?" I said, "The marks came in the other day." He says, "How did you do?" I said, "Not great." "Have they kicked you out?" "No, they haven't kicked me out yet." "Good," he says, "you're all set for next year." And I said, "You know what? I'm going to take next year off." "Oh, yeah? What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to stay in here, earn some money, work underground." I like working underground. It's a very macho thing to do, and it's very rewarding to go down there and come up at the end of the day, bone tired, filthy, and have a shower and take the rest of the night. He looked at me and he says, "You're going back." I said, "What? I want to stay here." He says, "You're just passing through here, son."
What?
And I said, "Well, no," he said, "you're going back." That's the only time he ever laid down the law. You're going back, boy.
Gives me chills, man.
Yeah.
What a great fucking story.
Yeah, I would listen to endless stories from Lyndon McIntyre. And yeah, definitely leaning into the East Coast maritime.
So at some point in that combo, he says he worked very hard in getting rid of the accent, and I said, you still have it. Like I thought he was fucking joking with me. I'm like, you're fucking kidding with me. You think you got rid of the accent?
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed that conversation.
You're just passing through,
fascinating
son.
guy, and married to Carol Off, right?
Carol, so that's you can add that to like MF and Cam Gordon, for example. FOTMs who are married.
Paul Hunter and Mary Ormsby.
Oh,
there's a few.
Did I tell you I was hanging with Ben Johnson this past quarter?
That's right.
Still love that guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, Jack Berkowitz.
Oh yeah,
what a character!
I just want to hear what you guys thought of Jack Berkowitz.
Yeah, so that was a wild episode. He's a character. He's a storyteller. I'm going to play a clip of Jack.
Okay.
So the way I understand this, and this is right off the top, you asked Jack to cut a promo for Toronto Mike, and this is what he said.
Right.
I'm Jack Berkowitz, and I wear many, many hats, including the yarmulke on my head, which signifies my Jewishness. I am the jewel of the radio industry. I'm also the jewel of the jewelry industry, and there's so much more. You got to get to know me to find out how many hats I wear.
Thanks, Jack.
So yeah, I've done that quite a bit lately. You know who got that right? Somebody like Steve Pakin got it right. Like they know there's the best guide ever.
Yeah.
So it's just let's cut a promo and then we'll roll into the episode.
Yarmulke.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, did you enjoy? Because I feel like people are split on this. Some people feel there's a lot there to like I can't take this because maybe they don't believe it all or something. But some people like Lauren Honickman and others absolutely loved hearing Jack's story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Did you listen, Cam?
Oh, yeah. This one I actually listened while I was on a long car ride. I was actually driving at the time, hands on the wheel, while listening to Jack spin his tales.
10 and 2 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting because it had, certainly the media stuff and... Like
a lot of radio
I feel
stuff.
like I ask you like every 3 months. It's like Mike or Alice Weisblatt. The Melissa DeMarco show, is that paid?
Oh,
or
I was hanging with her the other day too.
Yeah, like these. I'm so or Joey Vendetta or I'm trying to even Mark Saltzman. Like his tech show is like paid content.
Well, yeah, he told me he's
like I find these arrangements kind of interesting, but with Jack, it's not exactly that, but kind of a step removed. But in his rendition of it, it's not that at all.
Well, yeah. So the weird coincidence is once he stops advertising on a station, they cancel his program.
That's wild.
Yeah. But also, like what he does for the ratings. I mean, Sunday at 11 o'clock, it went from like, as he tells it, like 15 listeners to 30,000 or something. Thousands of listeners.
Was that on Saga 960?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like I like him talk about the store with every Saturday. There's just lineups of cars coming into it.
Remember, there was a hit on his life. And we talked about Harold, the jewelry buyer.
Yeah.
And like Cashman makes an appearance.
Just a fascinating conversation. A very interesting guy. He's so clearly full of shit, but still a great storyteller. And
like, were you not entertained? Like,
absolutely.
I was entertained.
Yeah, I will say, like, he did. I don't really offend that easily, but he did say a few things.
Yes.
I'm like, ugh. Yeah. Like just some of the terms, dehumanizing language. I'll just say that he used. I'll just leave it at that. But it was a compelling podcast.
Yes,
for sure.
Remarkable, you might say.
Remarkable, yeah.
That's a good word for it.
Where's he? I'm trying to think. Does he have a radio show now? I can't remember if he's
no.
There's a Saga thing.
He started at 1010.
Yeah.
Then he went to 640. Then he went to 960, and right now I don't think he's on any station.
Yeah. Okay. Most recently on Saga.
Yeah, that's correct.
Then it changed hands to
maybe next he's a TMDS production next. Who knows? Who knows?
Who's to say?
He could be a sponsor of the program for the next FOTMcast.
Just a final thought, when he was describing sort of the change of like who's leading that station and going down and describing the family, I'm like, dude, don't like. I thought he was just gonna like really go off on the folks who own that. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
To his credit, He didn't.
He backed away. Yeah.
So,
all right. Sophie B. Hawkins.
Oh my God.
Sophie B. Hawkins.
Wow. What? So fascinating that you don't often have people with such tenuous connections to Toronto. Right. So I believe was this an Alper special as well?
So this was a favor to Eric Alper.
Okay, and what a favor it was. Like it was a great chat.
And it leads to another episode, which we'll talk about later.
So, like, Sophie B. Hawkins' "Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover," like, such a huge song.
Iconic.
Right? Iconic. Played in many TV shows, many movies, huge hit. Everyone knows that song, right? Even if you don't know Sophie B. Hawkins, you know that song.
Also, one of those songs, like, you hear it, you're like, 1992.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
so specific, the
Yeah.
sound and that boom bap, like that boom bap type beat.
And she had that other big hit, too.
As I Lay
Me Down.
Yeah. But just a great chat.
Fun chat.
You and she had fun chemistry. I have a little clip of Sophie talking about how she wrote "Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover." So let's listen to Sophie.
Damn is having sort of a renaissance right now.
Well, okay, so let's do this. I wanted to talk about
That
your
sounds like
Toronto
Joan
history,
Rivers.
but first I just don't be offended. You've written many great songs, but there are two songs that I think are banging around everybody's head right now when I say the name Sophie B. Hawkins. Like, one of them is "Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover." But I don't want to discount, because I was playing it last night and it's huge, "As I Lay Me Down." Like, that's a huge jam.
That's the longest running hit single in the history of music, apparently.
67 weeks on the Billboard Adult Contemporary Singles chart.
Yes, well, you got it.
6 weeks at the number one spot in this particular Billboard chart. Yeah, big deal.
That's a lot, and I thank also the songs for really they really support me, because even though there's not radio anymore, they make people find me in other ways, like being on the John Hamm, which we both haven't seen, but that does, I can't. When people say they don't play to play their hits on tour, I'm like, are you kidding me? That's how people know you. That's what brought them in.
I hate bands that, if I went to see Sophie B. Hawkins in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, and she didn't sing "Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover," I would throw my can of beer at you.
And I agree with you. And by the way, it's a great song to sing. It is as challenging as any Janis Joplin song because of the range and the emotions. And I will tell you, this is honest. Every single song I've ever written that I sing on stage, I always discover it fresh in front of the audience. I really sing I think more of an act. I don't know if this is actually, but I don't sing by rote. I sing and I find new things, because this is sounding egotistical, but it's true. The lyrics are so good. The lyrics are so real. I always find new meaning in my songs. And even as I grow, especially as I grow older, I go, wow, that's really profound.
You wrote that song. I want to make sure the listeners know you're not just some hired gun up there with a great voice. You wrote that song.
I write the lyrics and the music. I write everything in my rooms, wherever my room is. And that's how I remember where I was. When people say, where were you in blah, 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 I think, what songs? I wrote that song when I was living on 83rd Street. I write everything. I record it in my bedroom. I always have a studio in my bedroom. I always have. And that's how I go. And sometimes people like my demos better. And I'm yet to release an album of the original demos of everything. But that will be a lot of fans' favorites, because they are better than the studio recordings in many ways.
And am I right that a song like that, we just talked about the John Hamm series, which people are digging right now on Apple, but it'll show up in a whole bunch of things, right? Like Euphoria or Stranger Things or Ozark. Or...
Yes.
Those are huge shows.
They are. And that's, again, thank the Lord. That's how I'm putting food on the table.
Sophie B.
Well, I was doing Alper's heavy lifting there.
So she's on her tour. And with someone else we'll get to in a second. So this is only Western Canada, like in the prairies and stuff?
It's
North Battleford,
Manitoba,
Saskatchewan.
it's Alberta, it is Saskatchewan, and it is British Columbia.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Like North Battleford, it's like, oh, Sophie B. Hawkins.
Yeah.
Who
No,
would
I
have
know. And some other person we'll talk about soon. But great, because she was outside. So we're zooming, obviously. And she's outside, and she was in good spirits. And I didn't know she's an unknown commodity. I didn't know what to expect. And she was great. Enjoyed it very much.
What'd she think of you?
You know what, though?
She
I
liked
actually
what she
don't.
saw.
So I don't like. Now, here's the thing. So I love that moment because I didn't ask for it. And
That's
she
why
gave
you
it to
put it
me.
on YouTube. You clipped it. And put it on YouTube.
Of course. But I didn't ask for it. She gave it to me, and it felt good. Then I hate, I wish you know how I don't edit things, and I wish I could take back prompting from the other person we haven't mentioned because she's coming up later. I ask for it, and then I get it because I ask for it, and I'm cringing now telling you because I don't regret a lot of shit I say on Toronto Mike, but I regret fishing for that one from the other person.
Right.
But I'm not. But see, if this didn't happen, that wouldn't happen. But this happened organically, and I like this one, and I don't like me fishing in the
Less
other one.
meaningful.
But I don't edit. It's all you're talking to a fucking
Warts
big
and all.
star,
Yeah.
and it's like sometimes your brain has these different thoughts, and you're quickly, which one am I going to spit into this microphone now? And I knew that's the one I picked, and it sounds cringy.
When I think of the name, so Sophie Bjorkins, I picture Carly Simon.
Oh, interesting.
Do they sort of look the same? Am I wrong?
I mean,
like not really.
Yeah.
They're kind of earthy vibe.
Earthy.
You're so vain. I'll bet you think this song is about you. Okay,
All right.
we got to cook. Do you realize how long this is
We have
taking?
so much more to go.
Okay, let's go hard.
Okay. Toast, Bob and Rob. Love them.
Okay, we love Bob and Rob.
Yeah.
Bye.
Rewinder. Blair Packham.
That's the second rewinder.
Second rewinder.
So we talked probably more about it the first time. Another great rewinder with beloved FOTM Blair Packham.
Yeah. Love Blair, great guy, and I really love the concept of that show. It's the anti.
It's supposed to be the
FOTM
opposite
cast.
of this.
Yeah, and yeah,
Like you can this one. Don't fucking listen to this one.
yeah. Everyone should listen.
Everyone should listen to Rewinder with
sure.
Blair Packham.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Lorne Honickman in his first of two appearances in the quarter. This one was cut short due to some technical difficulties. And this one had a very interesting segment where you wanted to get Lorne's opinion on something very important to the TMU. And so let's listen to that exchange now.
I'm going to play it one more time, and then I want to hear from you, Lorne, if you believe that is Mark Daly's voice, okay? So one more time now that you're thinking about your friend Mark Daly. You ready? I'm certain. Like I want to end this debate today. That is Mark Daly.
Okay, I can't help you, Mike.
But does it? Okay, you can't say definitively. You're such a lawyer. But to your ears, your expert ears,
If
does
you
that
told
sound
me-
like his timbre? His voice?
Here's what I could say. If you told me it was Mark Daly, and I would not be able to say to you, no, it's not. But if you're saying to me, is it, John Doe or Mark Daly, I'd say sounds like Mark. But again,
okay, we're not in court here, Lorne.
no, I know, and we're spending a lot of time on this. So I do want to be able to give you whatever, I want to help you as much as I can, Mike.
I just wanted your analysis, listening.
Well, you're talking
with
about
me.
my ears, trying to hear something embedded in a song, and you're asking me, because there's this incredible debate out there, is that Mark Daly? So my answer to you is, to the best of my ears' ability, it sounds a little like Mark Daly. And I think, I hope I've helped you there, and I want to thank you for inviting me downstairs, and I'll see you in 2 years, and we'll get into some other stuff.
Do you feel like we wasted too much time discussing that sample in the Rush song that I believe is Mark Daly? Because I have somebody in here who worked with him.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that whoever is listening to our interview right now is going to be saying, Lorne, thank God you got Mike off of that. As I saw you working to get off of that. He wouldn't let you get off of it. I appreciate that you did your best. I think that's what people are going to say about that.
Okay, I need a ruling. Okay, I did. By the way, I took out the stopwatch.
Mm-hmm.
I start Subdivisions chatter at 17:20 of that episode, and we abandoned Subdivisions chatter at 23:33.
Yeah,
6 minutes.
Solid 6 minutes.
Yeah,
6 minutes. Okay.
So personally, I love it because it's so uncomfortable, and Lauren is so clearly done,
he hated
done
it.
with it.
He hated it.
But I guess that's I see both sides of it, right? Like it's the Toronto mic'd way to like just bore into a subject and not let it go until you've had your way with it.
It's like, look at all this shit. Like, what do you think this is?
Exactly.
Like,
but on the other hand, like when do you take a cue from a guest to say, all right, this guy is not digging this, like let's move on? And I'm not saying you should have, because it
wasn't like Colin James where he's like, where the fuck am I? And the first time I met him, right?
Yeah,
this was Lorne Honickman.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
He's been on many times.
worn over. Yeah. You should know.
I produced a podcast for the man.
Right.
I
a
felt
client.
like that's something the TMU would be interested in.
Yeah.
And his idea that people are going to be grateful he tried to move me off it, like get off this. This is off. This is terrible. I think he just doesn't get the show when he says stuff like that. And I can tell you right away, I had an email from his colleague, Al McCormick is the gentleman's name. He comes up in a later episode with another FOTM Hall of Famer. We had a call about it earlier, and about 3 hours ago, we had a call about it. But Al McCormick was just, his favorite part of this episode was the 6 minutes we spent talking about subdivisions.
Yeah.
He loved it. Okay, so I loved it, and that's all that matters.
I'd say sort of, I have 3 quick thoughts. One, I think this, like, again, textbook, guy slowly losing his temper.
Yeah, he almost told me to fuck
very
off.
just like a slight rage setting in. 2, I'm trying to think what the closest parallel, like I think of Gino Vanelli, Can We Get Off Black Cars is sort of
that's
the
the
more
closest. Yeah.
but that's a far more abrupt.
He had a smile though with his, but I feel like Lauren, that's the closest Lauren Honickman has ever come to telling me to just fuck off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you were right. He did sort of, and I saw some like PR, like I sort of, I glazed my eyes. Oh, this sounds like PR spin he's putting on here. But you said lawyerly, we're not in court.
Yeah.
He did sort of lapse into like his sort of,
lawyerness. And so I guess you're going to get to this, the fact that we thought we lost that episode.
Yeah, I mean, I alluded to it. There were some technical issues, and you had to stop the recording.
So we got 40 minutes in,
yeah.
and then I got a dialogue box on this thing to say a hard drive is full.
Yeah.
But I recorded in 2 different channels. Like there's a backup and there's the primary recording, and both crashed because of the hard drive being full. And I couldn't I spent a long time trying to recover the audio, and I believed it to be lost for good. So Lauren said, hey, we'll do it again, and I'll come back in a couple of weeks, and we'll do it again proper. And he seemed grateful that we lost this subdivisions episode. He did not like it. He really did not like it.
No.
But then he leaves, and it's like he thinks it's gone. It's not going to ever see the light of day. First time in the history of Toronto Mike, I lost an episode.
I would say like it's sort of almost like dark humor, but I do like it kept the fucking party hated, and then he's going to this long soliloquy about what Kristen Amal, which case was it? It was like
Christine Jessup.
Christine Jessup, like a really serious and like something that was a big part of his career. And no, that part's gone.
Yeah.
So we were going to do it that part
But the
again.
subdivision stuff, we got that.
I saved it all. I got it all. We did 40 minutes recording. I got it all. I literally, and I even talked to Andrew Stokely, the audio guru. Like I sent him what I had,
It's a big deal.
which was a corrupt MP4 file, and he couldn't fix it. He says it's gone. So it was gone. I'd moved on, but I was Googling things to do, obviously, because I thought I'd like to save this 40 minutes, mainly for that subdivisions thing he did there.
Subdivision.
I found a website that repair.cleverfiles.com, and I
Shout out
uploaded
to
my damaged MP4 file, and a long time later I downloaded a MP4 file that had the audio intact, and I was able to extract the
For
audio.
free? This is
free.
like a free-
I didn't pay a penny.
Oh my gosh.
So I saved the 40 minutes.
Subdivisions.
And he did say, why did you, Al McCormick told him, hey, I just heard you on Toronto Mike. And Lauren's like, what? Like he told me it was gone. But so that was an interesting 40 minutes, but he would come back later.
Yes.
And I'm glad we did the 6 minutes.
That's kind of amazing. You have a corrupt audio file. Just send it to some free website and sends it back to you and fixed.
And I took a note of the URL because I thought it was amazing. Repair.cleverfiles.com.
Wow.
Greg Siskinen, who is a real head and is listening to us right now, on social media, they shared the top 10 songs from CFNY 102.1, The Spirit of Radio. This is October 1982. And it's just interesting because number 3 is Subdivisions by Rush. Chris Murphy's favorite Rush song, by the way.
right.
More on that. And it's interesting to see our own friend, beloved FOTM, Rob Pruce, and Spoons, not these spoons, but Spoons at number 7 with Areas and Symphonies.
I guess that was sort of like Rush's like almost new wave phase because they were like leaning on the keyboard.
Lots of keys. Yeah.
Remember the video? Like, oh my god!
Oh
like
God.
I'm trying. I dug up the school that was filmed at.
Great memories, and it's all because I spent 6 minutes talking about Subdivisions of Lauren Honickman.
It's another 5 minutes on Subdivisions.
I loved it.
Okay, so did we ever tell people that Sophie B. Hawkins said, "You're handsome"?
We did cover
How
that.
come that
yes.
clip didn't get pulled?
Because I think you've covered it enough.
So it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's on YouTube.
anyone
Find
can
it.
find
Okay,
it.
thank you.
All right. Remembering Ken Dryden with Steve Paikin, Bruce Dobigan, and James Maloney. First time guest James Maloney.
So Tyler and I live in the same riding.
That's
So
right.
he's our MP,
He is.
James Maloney.
Yeah, seems like a good dude.
I thought that was a very good retrospective on the life and times of Ken Dryden.
Yeah, it was great. I think like you said in the ep, like he was a little before my time, so I never saw him play.
I never saw him play.
But certainly,
and Cam's younger than us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Certainly very aware. Read the game. The game is a fantastic book. And very, obviously he was the president of the Leafs for a long time. Was a member of Parliament for the Liberal Party. Just a fascinating, very intelligent man who had a significant impact on Canadian culture. Yeah.
And it was good to get Pakin and Dobigan together again and to bring James Maloney in. And this all ties to Etobicoke Collegiate Institute, which is in James Maloney's riding. It's where Andy went to school. Who else went to school there? Somebody else?
Andrew Budziak.
Andrew Budziak went to school there. And Ken Dryden went to school there, and he wrote a book about what happened to his classmates. And that was sort of his last book.
That's right.
There you go.
Was it Ken Dryden who brought in John Ferguson Jr.? Do you remember?
I believe it was. Well, he brought in Mike Smith. I think JFJ might have been after Ken Dryden.
They brought back Cliff Fletcher to mentor John Ferguson. Like it was just not.
That was
just
rough.
not working.
That was rough.
Just not working.
Some dark years.
Yeah.
So now we're on to episode 1759.
Avi Fettergreen, filmmaker.
Spent a lot of time with this.
Prolific film producer who just directed his first film, which I had the pleasure of seeing. And I've known him for a long time. I've been producing his podcast for a while, but he finally made his Toronto Mike debut.
He was at the party where me and Stu were in the ballroom. Was he not there?
At the Hollywood Suite Breakfast. He was there.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. Star-studded room.
Absolutely.
That was fun.
A lot of Ben Johnson was there.
Absolutely. A lot of big names.
How'd you get in there, Cam?
Oh yeah, because this guy. Now I'm gonna rage again. He big time Stu Stone and I. We were on the step and repeat wall. It's like there's Jake Gold. I'm gonna go just fuck off my friends here. We're about to do a photo. Oh, there's Jake Gold across the room. Gotta go talk to Jake Gold. So rude.
I'm working on something with Jake.
That's fine.
Wow.
We need 5 seconds.
What were you doing there, though? You didn't get an invite to the Hollywood Suite.
I was at work, and I came over to see you guys to say hello to my friends.
Avi Fettergreen episode is great because he talks about how he couldn't get this movie made. He couldn't get financing, and he basically planned to kill himself. And he was discovered. Bottom line is, he didn't kill himself. Spoiler alert. And his father-in-law financed the film, and it's fucking beautiful, and it's a great film. It's called Home Free.
Okay, and
see it if you can.
Where can we see that?
He did explain that in his episode. I'm trying to remember now, but at some point, it's going to be on Hollywood Suite. At some point,
shout out to David
and that's
Kynes.
why he was there.
Talk about a tough. I can't imagine getting something like that done.
Yeah,
God bless.
Oh yeah. This next episode we talked about it as well.
Yes, that's right. Kathleen Robertson.
All right, please tell me what you thought of this episode.
Yeah.
Kathleen Robertson. Now the show can start now. I'll press record now. I'm going to fill up my hard drive on this episode.
Yeah. Kathleen Robertson. What a great episode. Fantastic. So many connections to the TMU. Obviously, she knows Rob Pruce because her sister is married to Rob Pruce's best friend. Connected to Tom Wilson because her friend is Tom Wilson's wife.
Correct.
Margot, I believe.
Margot Burnell.
I knew Kathleen Robertson because I went to high
you're
school
in this
with her
episode.
for 2 years.
You're in the same yearbook as her.
I am, yeah. And she pointed out the fact that she was actually there for 2 years. I thought it was only one, but it was 2. And she had no recollection of me.
She leaves your high school basically to work on Maniac.
That's right.
Mansion.
Yeah, she left after grade 10, and the next thing we knew, she was on Maniac Mansion,
and that's her big break.
That's right. Yeah, and what a great character and what a fascinating career she's had.
Yeah, 90210, 90210 alone,
the biggest fucking
crazy
show.
And it's weird. She just shows up on her own and sits in this basement to
No
chat
idea
me
where
up
she
for
is.
an hour and something. And I'm like, she doesn't know where she is or what's going on. But Tom Wilson and Rob Pruce, but I think Tom was the big guy at first pushing this thing. Tom Wilson said, you got to do Toronto Mike, and she did. So bless her heart.
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah, really enjoyed Kathleen.
Candidate for episode of the quarter.
I actually
100%.
Googled her after I watched this because I wasn't really aware of what she was in, but she was in Scary Movie, Scary Movie 4. Do you remember this? It was like Hot Shots.
Well, I remember the first Scary Movie.
Yeah, she was in one of the big ones. She's Scary Movie 3 or something.
Yeah, she did a series.
That's a big fucking deal.
She did a series with fucking Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Right, and she was claimed for that work as well.
Boss.
Absolutely.
Solid career.
Frasier Boss, I think it was called.
She was in the Gordie Howe story.
That's right. And the Torso, the Evelyn Dick story,
Right.
Halloween Hamilton story.
And she left this studio because she had to do a fitting for Reacher.
Reacher.
She's in
Yeah.
Reacher right now as
Big.
like a wife of some kind of I don't know, congressman or something. I don't know.
So great chat.
But again, getting back, just
Big
one
one.
final comment.
Big name.
Getting back to her and getting back to Avi and also Stu Stone, like all these people in sort of show business, even the way she described the stuff at the end, and she had the script and development, and then COVID happened, and then they're trying to find the financier. What a crazy industry.
I said to her,
I didn't quite follow, but what's the status of?
Well, that's what I said to her then. If Kathleen Robertson has trouble getting things made, how does
anyone?
Emily Whedon get things made?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
Just to randomly pick someone who was not on 90210.
That's right.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So Kathleen Robertson, big name, shows up, and then the name's Bo, James Bo.
James Bo. Did not listen to James Bo.
Okay, he's an author who connected with me on Blue Sky and pitched me a visit from James Bo, and I wanted to give him some exposure.
Yeah.
And we had a good chat about different things, and
What does he write about? Sorry,
young adult novels.
Okay.
So
Cool.
his sweet spot is young adult novels, and he's kind of a prolific writer. He lives in, I hope I don't get this wrong, is he in Guelph? He's like somewhere he
apparently
can drive from, but it's a long drive.
Apparently he writes a weekly column for the Kitchener Post community
Oh, no,
newspaper.
you know what? He lives in Kitchener. I'm
There you
taking
go.
back
There
the
he
whole
is, James
Guelph
Bo.
nonsense.
Okay.
James Bo. And we talked about what's the show that scarred me because it came on before
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I can't even say the name. But he's a huge Doctor Who fanatic, so we kind of dove into that, and I shared my experience, and I learned a lot about Doctor Who from James Bo. But he's just an author guy. Like, he's obviously not a natural-born broadcaster type guy, but he's just a guy. He writes, and he's from Toronto, but then he moved out to Kitchener, and we had a good chat.
James Bo.
But then a natural-born broadcaster came on the next day.
Humble Howard.
Howard Glassman from Humble and Fred.
This was Howard. I neglected to mention it off the top. This was Howard's 10th appearance on the Toronto Mike podcast. I also did want to shout out the great Bob Willett from Toast. Hit the 40 timer club this past quarter.
Wow.
So
Oh my God, that's a big number there.
good for Bob. So yeah, Humble. I think Humble was worried that he would have nothing to say.
He didn't understand why I'd want to talk. We've talked about everything.
Yeah.
Why would you invite me back? Because I invited him back.
Right. Yeah. But you have a way of drawing things out of people.
There's
and,
lots to talk about
for
with
sure.
Humble Howard.
Yeah.
And we had no problem filling up a good 90 minutes. or
Absolutely
whatever.
not. No, it was always great to hear from the Humble one.
I have a note from 1236. I forgot to say when we were talking about John Wing. So this is going back about 3 hours. Okay. This is a quote from Mark Weisblatt, FOTM Hall of Famer. John Wing offhandedly referencing Phil McKellar of CKFM regarding Don Cherry is one of the oddest obscure references in TM lore. So I say that sentence and don't ask me any follow-up. I think he's told me the Phil McKellar story. I can't remember it enough to cite it with but there was a interesting story about Phil McKellar on CKFM that John Wing referenced.
Sorry, what was? And he said oddly specific. Is that what he said?
Oddly obscure.
Oddly, okay.
So
I have to go back and listen. I'm curious. what he's talking
Weisblatt
about.
told me
Sounds
the
like
Phil
a
McKellar story.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's before our time here. And
Okay.
it is a very interesting Toronto radio
I'm
story
intrigued.
that John Wing referenced. So I'm sure by the end of this, one of you will have Googled it and can remind me Phil McKellar on CKFM. He said, like, my memory is of Mark Weisblatt telling me again, I didn't take note, but he said something on the air.
Okay, like Booger, perhaps.
Pretend like nobody.
That's right.
Well, that's what we're doing on this right now, pretending like nobody's listening.
I think we're.
We took this note from Dr. Johnny Fever.
Don't have to
here.
pretend.
Okay, so we're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
Decisive comes back
Yes.
to make a big announcement.
Yes.
I will just say I liked this guy before I met him. I liked his music and I liked his spirit. And anytime Decisive wants to drop by, and he can be the Mike Richards of the rap game here. He can make announcements on whenever he wants.
Seems like a very sweet dude. What was that announcement?
He's going to have a podcast series about like Young Decisive, and it's going to be chock full of Toronto pop culture references. And he's going to try to get voices of people like Steve Anthony, and he's got this thing, and what he's describing is something I think the TMU would gobble up. Yeah. So I will shine a light on it should it ever see the light of day.
Feels like it would be a complimentary to Toronto Mike, Retro Ontario, sort of a tapestry, that thing at the laundromat.
Toronto legend.
Right. Well, there's a guy who is in the, I got to get the name. I can't, but there's a guy in the
fake appearance at the laundromat.
There's a guy who wanted me to know our names are side by side in this laundromat, and he's coming on.
Oh, I think I know who that is.
Who is it?
Is it Rudy Blair?
Rudy Blair. You know what? I'm man.
Has Rudy Blair
late
ever
on a
been
Friday night? No, he's making his Toronto Mike debut
That is
this
shocking.
coming quarter.
Yeah.
Famously one of the few journalists who told me off.
I want that story. I want that story here. I want that story. But
It's
okay.
fine.
So he told you to fuck off?
No, this was the same event. I think I told Libby Znaimer, told me to talk to the hand.
Oh wow.
This was in the era. Well, you wouldn't remember, Mike, because you didn't take my fucking emails.
I was waiting for an.
It was another
invitation.
LG event. This was it was like a press conference with Jamie Foxx.
Oh wow.
And we only had 5. I think we had 5 one-on-one spots with him. So this was like E-Talk.
Did I get one?
You did not get one.
That's why I completely ignored your email.
So it was E-Talk, Entertainment Tonight Canada. I remember Andrea Case.
Oh yes,
I think
still there, still there.
I think CBC got one,
Friend of Dana.
and probably like City TV or something.
Would I crack that top 5 if it were
Rudy
today?
was greatly offended. He didn't get it. He told me he had talked to Jamie Foxx many times, and I totally get it. He's the entertainment guy.
Sure.
680 News.
Yeah.
Big deal. Libby was mad because she wasn't invited to the events. I said, well, you work at the classical station. I don't know what. and she just said, she just talked to the
I don't
hand.
just work
like
there.
a non-ironic
My
talk to the
brother
hands.
owns
Yeah.
that station.
Anyway, it was a cool event. It was at the Bay Bloor Center on the roof, whatever that.
Oh yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
Manulife Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Used to be
Whatever.
called Panorama. I think it's
Panorama.
Called, yeah.
That exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like 2008.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
anyway.
So Lauren came back. We had a longer conversation. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
And he teased the fact that he was contributing to something Peter Gross was putting together regarding his former colleague and now current friend, Bill Atanasoff. But more on that in a moment.
Yes.
But here's the episode we need to talk about. So
Lots to say
now
about
we
this.
start FOTMcast.
Now we can really begin. Ben Rayner.
Ben Rayner, episode
right.
1765.
Probably the most discussed episode, certainly in our WhatsApp group. And I think you heard a lot from other people who listened to the episode.
Huge amount of engagement.
Yeah.
Most engagement of any episode this quarter.
Many interpretations of
Yes.
this episode
Right.
too.
Yeah.
It's like that green dress.
Yeah. No,
That's
it's
right.
a good analogy.
Yeah, very much so. So Ben obviously has had some challenges, lost his job, lost his marriage, his ex-wife moved to the East Coast, and so he sort of picked up. Oh, he
got
renovated.
So let me get it straight. Okay, so he loses his full-time job.
Yeah.
Then he loses his new part-time job managing Cops Records on Danforth there. Then he's renovated, and his wife gets a divorce. He's divorced from his wife.
Yes, who then decides to move with their daughter to the East Coast.
Yes, his now ex-wife tells him, "I'm moving with our daughter to Dartmouth."
Right. So rough few months for our friend Ben, and so you hadn't talked to him in a while, at least not on
voice to voice.
Yeah. So you had him on. You connected with him via telephone, old school,
Right.
Because he was hiking somewhere in Halifax Harbor or something, and the sound quality was not great, which I think contributed to people's opinion of the episode.
Yeah.
And his mental state. Lots of people were concerned for Ben, were maybe concerned and thought that you should take the episode down.
Multiple people suggested I delete the episode with Ben Rayner.
Yeah. So I listened to the episode twice. The first time I heard, I missed the first like 10 minutes of it, but listened to the rest of it because I was sort of out and about. And then after all the conversation, I wanted to go back to listen again because my takeaway from it was that, yeah, he's had a rough go of it, but he seems pretty, I wouldn't say optimistic, but he's in good spirits for someone who's gone through all that stuff, right? And so I listened again, and I still felt like he overall is going to be okay. Like anyone going through that kind of thing would certainly struggle with their mental affect, as he has been. But I thought it was I came away kind of uplifted because he's talking about it.
You felt
right?
hopeful.
Yeah.
For Ben.
Yeah, he's open about his challenges, and he was able to convey his state of mind, and it was a very personal chat between two friends. Is how it felt.
Cam, what did you think about the Ben Rayner episode?
Yeah, like,
and then I'll speak to what you said.
Yeah, like everyone else, I have many thoughts on it. I mean, sort of at the end of the day, I feel like regardless of what people's reactions were, it was all coming from a place of care, because I think Ben has a very high approval rating. Like one of those guys,
everybody
how
likes
could you
Ben,
not
right?
like this guy? I'll say that, but I just was sort of jotting down, like, I thought this was really interesting, and all his episodes are really interesting because he touches on, the dying of Canadian media, being sort of misplaced in this industry. He's touched on divorce. What do we do? I mean, the three of us talked about this because we've all been through this before, and it's even when it goes cleanly, it still kind of sucks in a lot of ways. And
It's
often
rather
really
disruptive.
Sucks. Yeah, to say the least. Touched on the cost of living in Toronto. The fact is his beloved beach at Ontario Place not there anymore.
Right.
And then just mental health, substance issue, like all these things. There's a lot of threads there, but I think I used it like Ben is just going to be like ramble the earth, and then one day he's not, and that'll be that. I don't know. Like he's like a very high, I really admire. He has like a real high concept existence because he sounds like he was saying he was broke, but like he also lives in a way that is very low overhead. Like he seems like a guy, he could win the lottery and he'd still probably live the same way.
Yeah.
Which I really admire. Like he's not beyond his, UFO books and some records. I don't think he needs much to be happy, which I think is like really admirable for a guy that I think is like honestly like really talented and just really interesting, great writer. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that we often say men should talk more about their mental health. Like we should all open up and we should lose the stigma, because there's still a stigma attached to mental health challenges. And we should get rid of that stigma and we should all talk more about it. But I think when somebody does that, like Ben Rayner, it can be a little bit jarring to hear. And I think part of that, like, oh, he's just openly talking about his mental health struggles and what he's dealt with and where he's at. And I think for some people, that can be a little bit jarring. Like I think possibly that leads to this reflex action, which is, delete it. Like kill that episode. A couple of things on that note, because multiple people did suggest the episode should be deleted. That I want to just say that Ben enjoyed the recording, told me so afterwards, posted on X about how much he loved the chat, and he was sharing the link to his followers on X. I've talked via email with Ben several times since that episode, because so many people are saying, I heard this, can you share his email or connect me to Ben? I want to, help him in some way. Like so much of that, including today, like people are, that I'm hearing Ben is thanking me for this, and he's telling me about so many people reaching out, and he had a great experience. So the whole idea I would delete this episode, to me, would be so unfair to Ben. Like Ben of Sound Mind and Body recorded an episode of Toronto Mic'd with me via phone. And and like you, Tyler, I felt hopeful at the end. But this whole idea that I should delete the episode that he loved, like I would not do that. If Ben came to me and Ben Rayner said, Mike, I regret some of the things I said. Would you mind deleting that episode? I don't think I was in the right headspace for that. Of course I would delete it. Like if Ben asked me to delete the episode, I would delete the episode. But I was kind of proud of how it all turned out. I quite liked the episode. And I listened back because in the room, I thought when I got this reaction, I thought, oh, maybe I went on a bike ride and I listened and I tried to like, channel I'm just a listener, and I tried to hear it like that. And I still came away from it feeling like this is just a guy opening up about some of the shit he's gone through and sharing where he's at. And I felt hopeful for Ben, and I still do.
Again, that's why I think your analogy of the dress or like Inkblot or 3D picture or, that that drawing where it's like a woman looking this way or the old lady looking that way. Like
right.
it's
or
use
the
whatever
stairs
analogy
going
you
up
want.
or the stairs going down, all that stuff.
I do. This was one, every reaction I heard to it, I could say, I could see how someone, honestly, because the stuff him talking about, like, situated with his ex and the kid and stuff, I'm like, just as someone who would never talk about any stuff like that
Yeah, it's just so
in a public
intimate.
forum, and having like receipts like on the internet is like, especially now with like transcription tools, just like, is that all this Googleable? I don't know. It's it was again compelling. It was a compelling listen, and again, I think we're all rooting for this guy. Like everyone is for
sure.
Of
who heard this,
course.
regardless.
And I'm
of
going
your
to
opinion.
keep in touch with Ben, and he'll give us updates along the way. Midtown Gord is now on the live stream, and he says when he listened to the Ben Rayner episode, he felt he sounded okay considering everything he had gone through. Like he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
He's been through some shit, Ben Rayner, and he's sharing like, okay, this is what I've been through since March. So this is how my last 6 months have gone. This is where I'm at.
That guy needs to, Mike, you nailed it also on that up. He needs to fucking walk some dogs. Like,
Yeah.
I've never
Honestly.
seen, dude, you are a dog walker.
Yeah.
Just get like fucking 6 dogs, walk them around Halifax. There's a lot, decent amount of money to do it.
Multiple people said they heard that suggestion and it was like bingo.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yes.
what Ben needs to do. But as I learned
1000%.
from my Mike Stafford experiences, is it has to come from within.
Yeah,
Like
you
Ben has to
Can't
drive
force
that
people
bus.
to do things. Just a quick update for you. Phil McKellar, I did find one little
Did he
tidbit.
say something on the air that got him fired?
All I found is 34-year broadcast veteran. His career basically ended when, thinking the microphone was off, he repeated a racist remark on the
Okay,
air
that's what it is.
at CKFM on July 31st,
Hot mic.
1982. Broken man. He died a few months later of a heart attack.
Okay, that's right.
Wow.
So he didn't know he was live on the air,
Yeah.
in a hot mic, and he said something racist, I believe.
Yes.
That looks like a GeoCities.
Yeah, this is
like
this
there's
is the-
clouds and
this is Dale Patterson's rock radio scrap.
Oh, that'll do. I know
Yeah.
you
this
said
guy.
that to me. How the track changes.
Yeah,
Like,
He's the
that's
guy who
good.
should come on Toronto Mike.
Yeah, I read this site for
So
decades.
Thank you.
that reference from John Wing that he just slides into with a sentence, Weisblock quite loved hearing that obscure
Love that.
reference. And
Yeah.
now you know the rest of the story. So Ben
Danny Thomas.
Rayner had the most engagement of the quarter. So many notes and comments and messages about people who just they didn't know that. Now, another thing just to slide in before I share some Jim Moore update here real quick is that, what was it? Where was it go? So now I'm thinking of the Jim Moore update. I wanted to slide in something about the Ben Rayner episode. Does anyone know what the hell I was going to
Was
say?
it? Well, there was the Toronto Star article. He went
Oh yeah,
on Metro Morning.
That's it. I think a lot of listeners heard all this for the first time and were shocked by it all and felt like he was opening up with me on this stuff. But I mean, I knew about it before it hit the Star, but I didn't ask Ben to talk about it until he published a story in the Toronto Star.
Yeah.
Like he published a story about with all that detail in Canada's largest newspaper.
I was gonna say
that's what I wanted to point out.
This is almost peeling the onion of media. So you got the Toronto Star op-ed, so that's one layer, and then he went on Metro Morning to talk about that, and then he came here. If you really want sort of
If you want
real
more
fragrance
yes.
and the odor,
if you
and
want a longer form chat
the
about
essence
it, I'll
of
do that.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. So we love Ben, and we'll keep everybody posted on how Ben's doing in the Maritimes.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Did we point out though those toast episodes we shouted out? That I had special guests on
That's
a
right.
couple of them.
Yes, you did.
Because Snow was a special guest on
That
one
was-
of them.
yeah,
So there
that
was
was super
Snow
fun.
this past quarter, and Jim Moore, the original bassist from Rusty. He was also in a band called One Free Fall that predated Rusty. He debuted on an episode of Toast. I brought him in to talk about Misogyny from Rusty.
The song, to be clear.
The song, right. But then Jim Moore made his Toronto Mike debut from Jolly Old England. I have a quick update for everybody on something regarding this episode.
Let's hear
He teases that a big Canadian band was covering Rusty.
That's right.
But he didn't name the
Right.
band. He didn't want to name the band. And the update I have is I now know the name of the band.
Oh, I know who it is. I saw this today.
Yeah,
I saw
that
this
is covering Rusty. By the way, also covering the Doughboys. And I'm going to announce right now, before I name the band that's covering Rusty and Doughboys, I'm announcing in this next quarter, John Kastner is making his Toronto Lake debut.
Wow.
That's
finally
kind of a gluey. That's kind of a grouty guy.
Very exciting.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be some Mad Men talking that.
Jim Moore, did he set that? He said he was going to set this. Help set this
So
up, or?
Ken McNeil heard the episode.
Yeah.
He connected me. Then Jim Moore connected me. There were multiple connects made to John Kastner thanks to that episode.
Oh my God.
Ken McNeil loved the Jim Moore episode of Toronto Mike.
Good.
So the name of the band that is covering Rusty and Doughboys is Alexis on Fire.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Let's give me I'm curious how they're going to do that. So you got the yelly guy. And
They're
then you
covering the
got
hip
Delsk.
too, and I heard that already. So they covered fully, completely, and it kind of sounds like if Alexis on Fire played fully, completely.
Did you have Wade McNeil in the calendar at some point?
100%.
What happened with that?
Wade McNeil.
Good question. He was in the calendar, and I can't remember why it came out, but it wasn't me that booted him. Maybe he canceled it.
Was this like a few years ago, or
within the last 2 years? I want to say,
Yeah.
maybe 3. I don't know. It's all a blur to me. But yeah, absolutely, Wade McNeil. I have notes for his episode in this
he
very.
was in
Google
like
Doc.
another Gallows or something, like a British sort of hardcore band.
Did he have a show on CFNY? Was he? Did he host a show on CFNY? I believe he did.
Yeah. I feel like the shouty singer for Alexa, he became a firefighter.
Oh yeah, George Pettit. He lived in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really kind of interesting band. Like
Yeah.
all those guys. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, we're winding down the 50 episodes of this past quarter, and then there's other segments, guys.
Yeah, we got
I gotta get
more.
Morgan to bed at some point. But please, back to you, Tyler. So Jim Moore, I know.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
okay.
Yeah,
We have
and
to talk
this was a
about
light
this.
quarter. Paula Cole. Paula Cole is the next episode.
Paula fucking Cole.
Yeah, it's wild to me that you would have Paula Cole on Toronto Mike.
I don't want to wait.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, it's
why?
wild to me
Why?
too. Because of the Sophie B. Hawkins episode.
Okay.
Like, so I had this great chat with Sophie B. Hawkins. I really liked it. Like, it surprised me how easy it was to chat with her, how much I liked her. And then I found out, I didn't even find out till after the recording, that Paula Cole is along for the ride. Like, she didn't mention, I don't think
No,
she
she didn't
said
mention.
that.
I looked.
Like, she's promoting this Western Canadian tour. And Sophie B. Hawkins is going out west. Interesting. But she's going with Paula Cole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you asked Paula Cole at one point, like, were you added
Yeah,
later?
I thought maybe it was a Sophie B. Hawkins tour and they added Paula Cole.
Yeah.
But no, it was always the two of them.
Right.
So I don't know why Sophie B.
So
Hawkins
it
never mentioned
never
Paula Cole.
came up.
No.
Not once.
It never came up. I found out later, or someone told me in the chat. Somehow I found out that Paula Cole, and then I wanted to talk to Paula Cole, and then the Lilith Fair documentary came out.
Yeah, I mean, what perfect timing.
And then I watched the Lilith Fair, but I already booked her before I watched it.
Yeah.
And she's all, I mean, I think I asked you, Tyler, before
Yeah.
I watched it, like, is there Paula Cole
Yeah,
stuff? And you're like, she's all over this
yeah.
thing.
That'll be helpful, like just selling tickets for this.
I know.
Tour.
Yeah. And like, she just seems like such a lovely person. Like, just so, she seems very peaceful, like just a very soft-spoken, calm, sweet person. But like tons of, toured with Peter Gabriel. Obviously the Lilith Fair stuff, Dawson's Creek, like just what a career she's had.
Fucked over by her label.
Yeah. And just a wonderful chat. Like, I really, really enjoyed listening to Paula Cole.
The Paula Cole, Sophie B. Hawkins episodes almost make you wonder why I don't do more Zooms.
Almost.
I'm trying to think how many of your Zooms was the person outside.
That was
Sophie B. Hawkins and Ashley McIsaac.
Ashley McIsaac.
Ashley McIsaac was outside.
Yeah. That's right.
It's like sort of the free spirits are always outside.
Yeah.
Right, 'cause you can't, cage that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about
So
Paula
just
Cole?
to say about Paula Cole is that it was timely to have her because of the Lilith Fair thing, and also they just had a Dawson's Creek reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but I Don't Want to Wait is the theme song. But as I unfolded on the most recent toast, which was actually next quarter because it was after October. It was in October. Was it?
It was
Wednesday?
Yeah, it was
Okay. So it was October 1st. So we can't talk about it. But I can tell you, I explained how The original theme they wanted was an Alanis Morissette song. Was it Hand in My Pocket?
I think so.
One
yeah.
Hand in My Pocket. Okay, so they wanted that. Alanis said no, and then they commissioned Jan Arden to write a song to be the Dawson's Creek theme song.
Yeah.
So Jan Arden sells, like for a flat fee, sells them a song to be the Dawson's Creek theme song. But then the same label, I guess, had this Sony. I can't remember now. I said it in the Toast episode, but the I Don't Want to Wait was last minute was put in, and that just worked. But when they went to like streaming and they went to DVD, they didn't have the license for I Don't Want to Wait. This kind of ties to Paula Cole's label difficulties. She doesn't own her masters and that shit. So they put back the Jan Arden song.
Yeah, so many people.
So there are people, although Bob Willett made fun of me and said, what is there, like 2 people? There are actually, there are people who discover Dawson's Creek
because it was on Netflix
streaming.
with that.
Right. So if you discover Dawson, if you didn't watch it on the WB, because you're not old enough, for example, and you discover it on streaming, and it's got a Jan Arden song instead of Paula Cole, that's all you know.
Totally different
that's
show.
That's the theme song, though. So you're shocked to find out that wasn't the way it aired.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. It's not a totally different show.
But it's just a fucking credits.
It was a memorable theme song.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
That that Jan Arden song is terrible, by the way.
But some people will tell you on
Yes.
Reddit, for
Yeah, yeah.
example, will tell you the Jan Arden version is better because that's the one
Right,
they
that's the
fell
one they
in
know.
love with.
That's the one they
okay,
know.
so
Hey, no-
okay,
no shade to them.
So now I will disclose the episode I did after Paula Cole was because of a sponsorship deal with
SpawnCon.
Waterfront BIA, and I will, like, if you do sponsor Toronto Mike, you get an episode.
So
Nick
Jack
Gaiani's got
Berkovitz
one.
could have one.
Absolutely. So I think
Record
some
downloads.
sponsors didn't take me up on it, but most do, and that's part of the deal. So Waterfall Festival, which is happening this coming weekend, we talked about it, and it was kind of neat to talk to people at the ports, Toronto ports, and the Bentway, a woman from the Bentway, and I was thinking about how we would meet for Bentway beers.
There you go.
Is,
so there you go.
Is Tim Koser related to Joe Koser? That's my
No, that was my first question.
Is
and he pronounces it differently.
Oh,
Coker. he
Coker.
says, you know.
Okay.
Is
I
the
know.
Music Garden part of
Waterfront? Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
I saw this little concert down there. I don't know if you guys saw the band Land of Talk. It was
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
I saw
Music
that,
Garden. It was
post.
there was actually another show there tomorrow with Charlotte Cornfield. I don't know
But
if you
there,
know.
I know.
there is an
It's a
FOTM
real
playing
cool
there.
vibe. Yeah, like I'd recommend it if you ever see one of these free shows. It's just the chillest of chill vibes. down
So
there.
I'm hoping Waterfront BIA comes back next summer.
Yeah.
That's the hope here, and I liked working with them very
I-
much. But then there's a big episode to talk about.
Yeah, like you saved some big stuff for the last couple episodes of the quarter, so unfortunately we have much more to say.
There's no
So-
one left. I honestly, I just checked the live stream. Nobody's left.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Chris Murphy and Jay Ferguson from the band Sloan. What a great conversation. What can you say? Obviously, they've both been on the show before.
Multiple times.
You've also had Patrick Pentland. You've also had Andrew Scott. So there was some content from those episodes that you wanted to share with them and get their reaction.
Right.
I did pull a clip from this. Someone asked a really good question near the end, so I wanted to just play that and hear their answer.
This question came in from Tyler. He said, Andrew talked about Sloan time. This is in quote, Sloan time, in reference to the fact that you're all busy people with families, side projects, and other interests. How do you determine when it's Sloan time? And has it gotten harder to get everybody on the same page for when that time should be?
Well, if by Sloan time he means getting everybody together, that's not that often. But Sloan time is almost all the time for me. I'm always working on something. I'm here. Sloan time right now for me. It doesn't make me unhappy or anything, but I just mean I spend a lot of time editing video and doing stuff, or what are we going to do next? And so I think about it all the time. Mm-hmm. And I do have other things on the go, but because part of having Sloan continue is to let people take time off. I can't push Andrew to do more than he'll do. And I get, he's kind of painted himself as someone who's like an immovable object, but whatever, he'll do some stuff. So sometimes we need to make some money.
But
you got a big tour coming up.
Yeah, and we don't even have to go to the States. For example, it's not this calendar year. We wouldn't have gone to the States in this calendar year anyway because we have lots to do. And Sloan time for me is certainly every day, like part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay and I talk a lot more than Andrew and I talk. We're always trying to think about what we should do next. What do you want to have at the garage sale next year? You can't have that conversation.
Do you have that date yet?
It'd be late May or something.
Probably, yeah.
But you can't have that conversation in April. Like you have to think that, if you're going to manufacture vinyl, you got to, we kind of have talked about that already.
Or there's always thinking about like, what do you want to, even as well as stuff for the garage sale, just like, do you want to do another box set? When do you want to do that? What would be a nice new deluxe item for direct-to-fan kind of stuff? So there's always Sloan work to be done that's beyond the brand new record or press and stuff like that. So as Chris, there's always stuff to think about and plan for sure.
So there's the kind of running it in the present, new record, what can we do, touring, and then when we've kind of done all those things, then it's like spinning the plate of like, do we need to manufacture more twice removed records? Because we just we're trying to we're like a small business, and we have there are manufacturing issues, there are timing issues, should we be up-resing these videos? They look terrible, and this kind of stuff. But it's all stuff I enjoy.
Yes, you're always on Sloan time. Even when you're doing stuff, because even when you're in Trans-Canada Highwaymen, you're singing Sloan songs, right? We're going to get underwhelmed, and we're going to get all these great Chris Murphy Sloan songs. So, Jay, you're always on Sloan time?
I feel like I think about Sloan a lot, or other times just working on, I don't have kids like the way Chris does and the other guys and things like that, so maybe I have a little bit more free time to think about Sloan stuff, but also time to work on new songs, thinking about, would it be fun to release a one-off single or a one-off streaming song, or it'd be nice to have a stockpile of songs. If Sloan makes another record, I'd be kind of up and running a little more than just starting from go. If it's like, hey, we have to start making a new record next month, so there's always stuff to think about and plan for sure. I think about it a lot, and I enjoy it too. Like I like especially the reissue campaigns that we've done on all the limited edition things, and I think we have more stuff in the can that we can release. It's just about how to partition it out throughout the next few years.
For the record, I'm also always on Sloan time. I just find you guys.
We kind of need like a little light in all our rooms just because Sloan time is on now or something like that.
Absolutely here.
Little bulb in the corner of your basement.
Great question, Tyler.
Thank you.
What a thoughtful, what a long, interesting answer. No PR bullshit there.
Yeah. They were pretty honest. They didn't sort of name names, but it's just, we get Andrew and didn't mention Patrick really too much. And
how much I'm trying to debate myself, how much I want to get into this. But if you're just like, that's the best band of all time, just tell me again how awesome their new album is and everything, then there's a lot of places I think you can go to hear that. Like there's Sloan podcasts out there, but I'm more interested in the dynamics of the band. Like I'm legit, first of all, I'm a big fan, big booster, love these guys personally, and I've always loved them since I first heard Underwhelmed. Love these guys.
The album is great too. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested in the four members of Sloan. They all sing, they all write songs. They're 25% of the band each, and I'm very interested in the dynamics. And I'm in a place now where all four members have visited this basement in 2025. And I'm trying to paint a picture of the band, and it's not all going to be tell me again how awesome all 12 tracks are based on the bestseller. I'm not PR.
As far as we know, do any of these guys have other jobs that are completely unrelated to music? I actually don't know that offhand.
I don't know of any of them having a job unrelated to music.
So I think we know all sorts of other CanCon faves that have other jobs, if not full-time careers.
Some of them are drumming up results right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Or Stephen Stanley was the art director at Strategy
Great
magazine.
Example.
Yeah.
Ken McNeil's a bricklayer.
Yeah, exactly.
Great example.
Or the Conline Crush guy, is a
paramedic
nurse,
or something?
nurse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sloan,
Gandharva's guy, like a geologist or something.
Absolutely. But I am curious for you two what your takes were on the Sloan episode, because I did re-listen to it. It's another episode which got a lot of interesting feedback. And I re-listened to Sloan, and I was listening. Was I too, I don't know, mean to the guys? Like, was I harsh or something? And I re-listened, and I fucking loved the episode. Like, it's what I'm looking for, and I didn't think it was too mean at all. But I'm very biased. What say you?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you've built up a rapport with these guys. They know you. They know what to expect when they come down here. And yeah, you went back over some ground that you've covered before, but I think it all is part of the whole Sloan tapestry, and it's important to paint that picture and to reestablish those avenues. Because it's part of the narrative that still continues today, right? Like, you can't talk about how they're making an album today without talking about how they made an album at the beginning.
Right. You get it.
I think so.
You get it. And think so. You did seed a question to revisit something that Patrick said about Twice Removed. I remember.
Yes, yeah, because he had said that he doesn't like Twice Removed, and he maintains that they should have made something more like Weezer's Blue Album.
Yeah, which is a fascinating story he shared with us. And then if I get Chris and Jay in the basement, how do I not bring that up?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't know how to have Chris and Jay in the basement without asking them about some of the things Patrick and Andrew said in this very basement earlier this year.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. Otherwise, what's the point of all this? Like, we'll just shut it all down.
Yeah.
Okay, just a small build. We talked about, what is media? It's a podcast on the radio or whatever. But this is actually a rare occasion where, like, these guys came because they were on, like, a press junket for this. Like, I don't know if it was earlier that day or the day before. They were, like, on the Global Morning Show here with Jeff MacArthur and Carolyn McKenzie.
Right. Michael Power.
I don't think they got into, Patrick said the Weezer Blue album on morning. So it just shows, like, if they want the real talk, and again, credit for them, like, they sort of didn't mince words. They didn't, and I thought they were, like, very open, honest, but, like,
no,
very
there was a moment. There was a moment.
Time.
I don't know. So do you have any more?
I don't have any more clips.
Okay, there is a moment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was in the room. Okay, I was in the room. I thought it was fine. All fine. They were fine. Chris was a little low key off the get go, but I think it's been busy times for him. Like, he was doing the thing at Chorus Key while we were at TMLX 20 at GLB Brew Pub, and then he was at Indy 88 because Mimico Joe was telling us about that. Like, they're doing a lot of stuff. You see him on Global there. They probably did. I don't know if they did breakfast television, but they might have.
Sure.
They did a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
because they're promoting this new album.
Yeah,
they did a lot of stuff here. So,
think
the one moment though, just really quickly here, is. Of course, I played the clip of Andrew Scott saying he's not crossing the border. He's not going in the States. This is the guy who gave us Control Your Dogs from that episode. Like, what an episode. By the way, revisit the Andrew Scott episode. Fucking amazing. Patrick Pentland, too. Wow. But he said, I'm not entering the States. I know from when Ron Hawkins came over last quarter, they were going to do a Sloan Lois Low thing in Buffalo, and they canceled it because I don't think Lois and Low want to go to the States right now, too. Clearly, though, it was very clear to me that Jay Ferguson and Chris Murphy would like to play Buffalo. And that makes money for the band, and they're in the business of making money off of Sloan. And it was a bone of contention on some level, and I could sense that was the moment. I think I made
Is that like get your dogs out of control? Like pun?
Oh yeah, it was that pun intended.
Sorry, and like Ben Rayner, you should be a dog walker. Here, the dogs are.
Control your dogs, Ben Rayner.
Anyway,
a bone of contention.
Anyway, sorry.
But so when I did bring up I just played the clip of Andrew, and I asked them for their thoughts on that, their reaction to that. There was a moment where they didn't want to talk about it. They both kind of shut down, and like, I think he says something like, we don't have a memorandum, like we don't have there's nothing written down that says we will not cross the border or whatever. But Andrew Scott's not crossing the border, which means Sloan's not playing, because Sloan is 4 people.
Right.
So which is all part of the I'm fascinated by that dynamic too.
But think of it this way, like, for all 4 of these guys, Sloan is their job. It's their profession.
Right.
Strip away what they do for a living. These are 4 coworkers. Think of other jobs you've had in the past where you go on a live microphone and said your coworker said this, and it's created workplace conflict.
Yeah.
You and your other coworker, what's your opinion on that? Like, I would be horrified. I wouldn't say anything close to what these guys said.
No,
so
it's
credit
true.
to them.
It's
like
true.
it's hard. Like then that's Life in Public is a popular band,
and
we love them.
Yeah,
Interesting way to look at it.
and you talked about this a little bit on Toast, but there was some feedback like on the Sloan subreddit where people were complaining about the episode.
Well, I didn't bring it up. Somebody put it into the live chat, I think.
Yeah, I think I did.
And then Bob was very excited by it. Bob was very excited about it because somebody said I suck or something, and he was very excited about it.
Yeah. But people were, they said that
they won't be listening to FOTMcast.
No, they will not. They said that the episode really went downhill, or like the guys were like totally put off after that. After you played those clips, which I did not.
No, it definitely. They didn't want to elaborate very much on the
fine, of course,
crossing the border thing, and it's clearly to me, anyways, clear to me that Jay and Chris would like to play concerts for Buffalo Sloan fans because that's how they make money. That's the job, right? And they can't do it without Andrew Scott because I guess at this point that band is. All four have to be on board for there to be a
to their
Sloan
credit,
show.
it's a democracy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is but that's interesting, and you're not going to get anything like that on Global's morning show.
You are not.
Probably not.
And that's that only comes about because I somehow got Andrew Scott to knock on the side door and agree to sit down for 90 minutes and let me ask him questions.
I've never heard him speak anywhere else.
Yeah. It's remarkable he came here. Like, I don't think he does many interviews at all. Can I say one other, just like a footnote? A nice byproduct this could be, I could totally see a world in the future. Rob Pruce plays with these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
and
so
you
they
could
love
take,
that
I
Rob
think
Pruce
you
fan.
could take credit for that if that does happen, Toronto Mike.
They absolutely, and I'm happy. So I'm happy. I did that episode started with Brother Bill.
Right. Yeah.
Because
oh my God, yes, that was brilliant.
So that was I have to FOTM Brother Bill. I hunt him down in White Rock and see if he'll do this thing or whatever. He's doing stretch. Are you seeing this? VP's doing stretches over here. We got to wrap this up. This is called
like
wrap.
3.5 hours here.
We have so much more to cover.
Oh my God. So. Guys, listen to the Sloan episode. I'm fucking proud of it, and I love it, and I love those guys, and I think they know it. I'm wearing this shirt today for those guys. The penultimate episode of the quarter was Peter Gross. He called about 4 hours ago.
Oh my God.
Peter Gross came on to tell us the story of Bill Atanasoff, and that might be the episode of the quarter.
That was an amazing episode.
Incredible.
Like Peter Gross did such amazing work in getting Bill Atanasoff to open up about his accident,
right?
About how it is living as a blind, essentially quadriplegic, and his memories of the accident, his memories of his career as a cameraman at City TV, working with Peter and with Jim McKenney and
John Whaley,
and Lauren Honickman. So many different contributors to that episode, and just like big kudos to Peter Gross for pulling all that together because it was really well done.
And we heard from Bill's sister, and we heard from his caregiver. It was so thorough and fascinating, and again, amazing to hear from Bill. So. I got a lot of praise for that episode, and I just replied the same to everybody, which is all praise is due to Peter Gross. Like, I just recorded it.
Hopefully he wins Podcast of the Year.
Well, you heard that call came in. Like, he's obviously getting some good feedback, and he wants to win Podcast of the Year. Okay, the final episode of the quarter was a gentleman. This one, I like the book ending here. We're going to move on from Wrapped, but the book ends. The first episode of this quarter, which we started talking about 5 hours ago, was Cliff Thorburn, because Gary Chowan said, go knock on this door and talk to Toronto Mike. And we did that. And thank you, Gary Chowan, who's also an FOTM, by the way. But Gary Chowan also told Fred Mullen, his friend Fred, to come on Toronto Mike. But Fred doesn't visit Toronto very often, so we did it via Zoom. But the Fred Mullen episode was the final episode of the quarter. What did you think, Tyler?
I thought it was great. I almost didn't listen to it because I was running out of time, but I was working on some stuff. I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to Fred. And he was great, and like what a weird, varied career. Like
Santa Jaws,
like had a comedy music group in the 70s that did this Santa Jaws thing. Produced Dan Hill sometimes when we touched.
Sometimes when we touch.
Has produced records for Jimmy Webb, the great songwriter. he's created a publishing company. So his publishing company did Jesus Take the Wheel. I almost said Santa Take the Wheel, but
Yeah, Jesus Takes the Wheel.
Him too.
Santa Jaws lost at the 1976 Junos to The Homecoming by Hey Good Hardy.
Oh.
And side note, you and I were talking before the recording about sort of deep dive podcasts about music. I think there is a podcast to be made about the ephemera of the Junos, and like you look at the who was nominated for like group most promising group of the year in 1976, and you've never heard of any of these fucking people.
Interesting.
And you could go very, very deep on that. Anyway,
I was gonna say that's my sound, man, for Forgotten CanCon. Where do you think I get this shit from?
Okay, so any final words about Fred?
Great episode. Everyone should listen to Fred Ball.
And did you
didn't listen to it?
Okay, well, you said Forgotten CanCon.
Yes.
Wow. Holy shit.
Get the stopwatch on that Wrapped segment. Holy shit.
And I was worried we wouldn't have much to talk about.
I got to put Morgan to bed soon.
She can put herself to bed.
Atlanta Biles, everybody.
I always forget. So you know what this song is, Tyler? Do you? Or you're going in cold with this song?
Oh, I don't know what.
No, I never tell.
This is totally cold. Okay.
And I haven't heard it, by the way. I loaded it up when you sent it to me.
You'd never heard this song.
Maybe I should play
Okay.
it.
Main question, Tyler.
Okay.
Let us know when or if you recognize this song. I definitely recognize this song. I'm like, it was one of those like, oh yeah. Especially
And I can do the same game because I didn't play this yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Couple. Yeah.
Goes hard.
I can't believe I'll say the word. Why can all these spoken dreams come true? I can't believe you hesitate. Do you remember? Whatever's when you break my heart, you'll still be there. That's what I
This sounds familiar to me.
Okay. Do you know this?
It sounds familiar, but I think only just in like a general music sounded like this.
Absolutely. I mean, the name of this band is World on Edge. I'll be honest, name did not ring a bell. I watched a video for this song. It's ridiculous. I recommend go watch that on your own time. The name of the song is Still Beating.
Okay.
This song is from 1991.
Oh, wow.
Sounds very late 80s to me, to my ears. It sort of reminds me of Degrassi School's Out, where you've got all this harem scarum and all these like very 80s sounding songs, even though that was a 1992 production. I thought this guy sort of sounds like the guy from Live, but fronting Roxette. Like it's sort of guitars, but it's so like processed and the drums are so big.
She was Romeo and but black jeans. Am I
like Michael Penn?
Michael Penn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thought also the band Go West, who sang "The King of Wishful Thinking," of whatever that's or. Who sang "Is There Something I Should Know"? Information Society.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I want to know what you are thinking.
I want to know what you're thinking.
Anyway, this band was from Montreal. Again, this song came in 1991, was sort of a moderate hit in Canada, went to like kind of in the 30s on the chart or the RPM. Not
Paul
much.
Jansfield
Yeah, to be honest, not a lot about this band online. I did find they were on a cassette called Rock 91 alongside other CanCon classics. Okay, I'm going to run these down quickly. Glass Tiger, Animal Heart, Alanis, Too Hot, West End Girls, formerly on Forgotten CanCon, Not Like Kissing You. I think that's the song we actually talked about. Alias, Waiting for Love.
Oh, wow.
Don't remember that one at all. And then also, weirdly, Vanilla Ice played that funky music. This band, World on Edge, were nominated for Most Promising Group at the 1992 Juno Awards. They did not win. The other artists nominated, the West End Girls were nominated, the Rankin Family.
Wow.
Something called the Young Saints, so I don't know what that is. They were like a East Coast band from Newfoundland. But the band who won, fronted by an FOTM, the Infidels. So
Beloved
to Molly
FOTM.
Johnson.
Beloved FOTM.
Invented
Read
the
the liner
lyre.
notes.
Molly Johnson.
Okay, so sounds like Roxette.
Leslie does recognize. So Leslie's still on the live stream, so she is absolutely a real head. Okay, not just a redhead, but a real head.
Okay.
She says she recognizes.
She knows
this
the song. Yeah, like this. I bet you might hear
But
this song.
Andy
like
remembers
Boom.
it from CFTR.
Yeah, that sounds right. It was sort of like into the Hog era. And just really quickly, I'll just burn through this. They did tour with Roxette in the Canadian leg.
Wow.
Do you guys like Roxette? Any relationship?
Like is a strong word.
You got the look.
They're there. Yeah,
they're around.
Yeah. I have no feelings about Roxette.
I never purchased a cassette of Roxette.
Yeah. And then looking at Discogs, like honestly, these band members just totally disappeared. I guess they gave up music, although vocalist Rob Meyer did put out a song in 2002, a fundraising album for the Ukraine called Why People War, and the name of the song was Freedom. Not the
Freedom 90?
Yeah, none of that.
There's two
Original
freedoms.
songs.
Wham had a freedom.
Yeah,
and George Michael.
Yeah, this
Freedom
fundraiser
90.
fundraiser was out of fundraising album was out of Lithuania. Did you guys pick up this album?
Did not get it. No.
It's right here.
Anyway, still beating World on Edge. Forgotten CanCon, but I didn't forget it. And a few people borrowed
the
it.
chorus is
Still
kind of catchy.
beating.
Like
Yeah.
still beating. Like it sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, you're like, does that sound like something to be on CFDR? Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
absolutely.
1,000%.
It doesn't. I mean, it's not. Doesn't sound terrible. Like I've heard so much worse. Like it's kind of still beating.
Sure. It's a song.
Yeah, it is a song.
World on
100%.
Edge. Okay,
That
that
much
is
is true.
absolutely though. That is absolutely forgotten CanCon.
Yeah.
So well
World on Edge.
done, Cam Gordon.
Lexicon Corner. Got some good stuff this quarter. Couple things. So there's one term that I'd like to add to the lexicon. It's been batted around quite
This
a
is
bit.
exciting when this. Can I tell you? By the way, this episode might end up being 4 hours.
I know.
We have to talk. We'll talk. We'll have a meeting. Maybe for Wrapped, we can't do every episode.
I think maybe not. I think
maybe we
not.
do 10.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to cap
well,
that.
We'll talk later. I don't want to
Okay.
spend longer.
Okay. So yeah, and I think we actually do need to capture this lexicon maybe on TorontoMike.com just with like a list of definitions. What I wanted to add was blind spot. So this is a pocket.
That's good.
Pocket of pop culture that you haven't been exposed to. Most often it's music. So like the world of smooth jazz is a total blind spot for me. It could be a TV show like Modern Family was a blind spot for me. I never watched it.
Up next.
I watched Modern Family.
Up
I just wanna
next,
point
Modern
out,
Family.
I watched quite, but the first few seasons I watched.
Yeah. So anyway, blind spot. I think it's important that we sort of enshrine that in the lexicon.
No, I'm glad. And sometimes there's a TV channel or a radio station you did not listen
Exactly.
to, so that's a
Yeah.
blind.
CTV News.
Yes.
No, you know what? When Tom Brown came over, I only knew him from promos I'd see watching like other programs, like I don't know, Wheel of Fortune or
Toy
something like that.
fucking
Toy
Mountain.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay,
Big
so
pile of
Monica,
tones.
I can't take that right now. Actually,
Like a video call.
It's well, she's in Montreal. It's a whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I mentioned to Tyler, but
That's fine.
well, please. So
Still beating.
we already put
This episode's
control
still
your,
beating.
Yeah, we already put control your dogs in the lexicon.
We did.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that's what I
Rainers
did.
can-
last
Control those
quarter.
dogs.
Last quarter.
Okay.
I do have two other things I
Okay.
want to share here for the lexicon.
Bone of contention.
Yeah. So this is not a term for the lexicon, but I think it is an artifact that should be in the lexicon. Over the years, you've had a number of people on the show who, for one reason or another, do an impression of Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah, like Ed Keenan does
Ed
it.
Keenan, for example. So I've just put together a very quick little supercut of some
Wow.
of the
Well
Macho
done.
Man impressions
Okay.
over the years. So let's give that a listen.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! But just cream of the crop. Ed Keenan, cream of the crop.
Oh yeah, Toronto Mike. Yeah, down in the basement in Toronto, but I'm not gonna tell you exactly where he lives because I don't want you coming to his front porch.
Oh yeah, this is Macho Man. Keep holding. Oh yeah, baby. Tito Santana. Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Toronto Mike, yeah, having Scotty Mac on the podcast, yeah, for a cup of coffee. It was delicious. It was a good conversation, and I'm gonna have to get back.
There you go.
I think that was great.
Yeah.
But you know what? I only recognize Ed Keenan and Scott MacArthur.
Yeah.
Was there anyone else
There
in
are two other voices in there.
Yeah, I noticed. Who are they?
I think Stu Stone.
One was Stu Stone, and the other was you.
Oh, God. But I gotta say, Scott MacArthur wins.
Whoever said the Tito Santana, that was the worst. Whoever did that one.
That was Ed Keenan.
That was it. He did his best.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to WikiLeaks.
Good. If my phone rings again, I actually have to answer it
Okay.
because she might be worried about us.
Sorry. We've been doing this so long, I'm just eating.
You know what?
I actually made pupusas.
Oh, I'm glad I told people to not listen because it's just too much.
Very tasty.
Even I host this fucking show.
Yeah,
It's too.
this is exhausting. I'm tired and hungry.
Well, the good thing is we only have 4 Wikipedia updates, so I'm going to burn through these really
Okay,
quickly.
good. Then we're going to go to fact check.
Okay, the first one has nothing to do with Toronto Mike. I did update when, God, this is so fucking snobby. The Nihilist Spasm Band.
Oh, yeah. I remember you remarking on.
Yeah, well, one of their vocalists, use that term loosely because they were kind of a noise band, Bill Exley, passed away. I saw this because actually Thurston Moore put this on Instagram, and he called Bill Exley the greatest vocalist in Canadian history.
Wow.
Which is a lofty
big claim.
remark.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I updated Wikipedia about that, and also like kind of officially announced Bill Exley is dead. Like, as you can imagine, the Nihilist Spasm Band Wikipedia entry is not that long to begin with, so I added that on there. Sorry, as a side, they had another guy in the band, Greg Curnow, who passed away in like 1992, but was also a visual artist. If you ever, I'm sure I'll connect on LinkedIn. If you see my LinkedIn photo, that's actually his art, but you guys might like it because there's a lot of bicycles in it.
Okay.
You might actually want one of his prints. Like, I've always wanted to get one because there's some very cool bike stuff. Anyway, complete aside. 3 other Wikipedia entries. Rosie Gray Teo made this, I was going to say this term, this quarter. I was on Spoon's Wikipedia, and they had post Spoon's career for everyone. So I actually added for Rob that he co-hosts Toast, a Toronto Mike podcast with Bob Willett and
very good.
Did that
Mike Spoon.
stick, or has it been stripped?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
in there. Yeah. I added. I was listening to Rewinder. Blair mentioned he went to Jarvis Collegiate, so I said I just went over to Jarvis Collegiate. Wikipedia, I said notable alumni. I put Blair Packham on there. All sorts
Okay.
of interesting names.
You're doing important work.
And then last but not least, this is from the Jim Moore. He sort of mentioned about him playing drums in the Rusty reunion, and that was sort of fucked up. So I just went and cleaned that up more. I guess he played bass in the reunion.
Yeah, the wiki suggested that he played drums in the reunion, but he did not.
Yeah. So next time you're chatting, you say,
Okay.
the Rosie Gray Teo fix that up. I also included a fresh line about their cover of a Season of the Witch, which was quite good. I said, Chris
I like
Wardman. That was actually Chris Wardman put that on SoundCloud in 2012.
Right. Oh, wow.
That's been out there for like over a decade. Only hearing it now, but that was a solid. I'd love to know what movie that was supposed to be on the soundtrack.
I would like to know. Maybe Ken remembers, or maybe Chris remembers. All FOTM.
Like, I
Chris
feel like it
Wardman.
was like, The Craft, or one, there was a lot of sort of Wiccan movies, or like Scream or something in the late 90s. Good cover though. Like, I was impressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, that's
so,
WikiLeaks.
well, thank you for
That's
your
wonderful.
contribution.
Burn through this.
Breaking the law, 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 breaking the law.
All right. Time for Mike's favorite segment of FOTMcast.
Okay, because I actually have one. On myself.
Okay. You may recall that last quarter announced a contest I received hundreds of emails sending in mistakes, errors throughout the quarter.
I thought it was thousands.
Well, it was hundreds. I don't want to overstate what happened. The first one that I received was from FOTM Andy, who is on the live stream.
Basically
right now.
talking to the same 6 people.
Well, because
No, she was
okay.
okay. She was just very
what
quick
this
off
is
the
for.
mark. There were
What's it for?
tons and tons of other emails came in, but Andy was first, so she's the winner. She'll receive a signed headshot of the official fact checker of the
She
TMU,
wins us.
Robert Lawson.
Robert Lawson.
That's right.
Who was at TMLX 20
He was there.
at the GLB
Yeah,
Group
great
Hub.
to see Robert Lawson. So
With
let's
his
get
wife,
into
Vanessa.
it. What Andy pointed out was that in the Ed Keenan episode from Q3, Toronto Mike said that Jane Fonda played the C-3PO character Dot Matrix in Spaceballs.
no.
Obviously, it was Joan Rivers.
Why did I think it was? I must have been thinking Joan, and it turned into Jane because I know
no
it's Joan
doubt
Rivers.
regret the error.
Jane Sinclair.
I know it's Joan Rivers, so I don't know why my mouth said
Then
that.
why did you say
Yeah,
it was Jane Fonda?
There
if
was
you
an
knew?
episode last quarter where I was talking about going to the island with Professor Pricklethorn,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to meet him at where Captain John's used to be.
Yeah.
And I said something, I think it was to Michael Mongiardi, but I said something like, there should be a plaque at the foot of 1 Yonge Street.
Yes.
Is what I said. And then I think that night I was there and I saw there was not just a fucking plaque, but like the anchor is there. There's a
Yeah.
plaque. That whole pier is called
Very-
Captain John's
very
Pier.
well memorialized.
So there's
Okay.
you just have to go to the.
Yeah.
You can't see it from Queens Quay. You got to go deep to where the waterfront is there, and you can see got an anchor, a plaque, and the name of the fucking
How
pier.
do you know
is Captain
Heritage
John's
Toronto
Pier.
didn't just like expedite that when they heard it because they
Well,
knew you'd be
That's
Viking?
right.
Highly possible.
Yes.
Highly
No doubt you
possible.
regret
So
that error, Mike.
I regret the fuck out of that error.
Scotty Mack on his episode, he said Dave Steeb's one hitter that was broken up by the Julio Franco Bad Hop single was in 1987 as part of the collapse of it. Of course, was in September 1988.
Correct. Yeah.
It was like
Come on, Scotty.
3 in 1 year.
Scotty Mack
He's younger than us.
regrets the error. Mike, in the Colin Cripps episode, you attributed a comment that I submitted about Colin at one time living with Dan Aiken and a former colleague
did I
of
give that
mine.
credit to?
You attributed that to Hamilton Mike. You,
Ooh.
You know, I did hear from Hamilton Mike who said he didn't say it. And
That's
then
right.
I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, that was me.
was
and
Hamilton
you
Tyler.
No doubt regret the error.
Is he related to David Aiken?
No, different spelling.
Okay.
He is related to Feist, though.
Or yeah, he's related.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was disclosed.
That's right.
What about Willie Aikens?
No. Willie
Famous
Mays,
drug addict.
Willie Mays Aikens.
Still with us though.
Still with us. Last one.
No.
No.
Was he in
Was
jail?
that Willie Mays Aikens?
Yeah, but I thought Willie Aikens got out of jail and cleaned
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's
Good.
giving a look
Sorry.
like he's
Cam
wrong.
regrets the error.
Okay.
And then
Duly
finally,
noted.
Yeah, finally, Blair on Rewinder said that Stephen Colbert and Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett were going to be teaming up for a new show. This is not true. This was debunked on Snopes. It is not happening.
He fell for that one.
Blair, no doubt, regrets the error.
Take you for a ride on a slow bus to Chinatown. Where in the world is
Stu Stone.
Hello, Toronto Michael, and the rest of the TML universe and the gang that's there recording. Hello. Hey, Cam. How are you, pal? This is the segment that I know you guys have just been waiting to hear. Where in the world is Stu Stone? Well, first off, I'll tell you where he is. He's on Cloud 9. He's on Cloud 9 because the Blue Jays, the team that Mike gave up on.
Cloud 9.
Thank God. You know, he would have just brought us down anyway. The Blue Jays are on the precipice of greatness, maybe? Best record in the American League. Best record in the American League East. Getting ready to start the ALDS top seed. God bless the Blue Jays. And in case you're wondering, right now I'm in Detroit. So I'm basically going to need a telescope to like look over the border and watch the game, but I'll figure it out. Love you guys, miss you guys. Go Jays, go! And until next time, I will talk to you then.
Always good to hear from Stu Stone.
That's good.
There he is. We found him. Detroit.
Sincere thank you, to both of you. Obviously, thank you, Cam Gordon, but a bigger thank you to Tyler Campbell because I know how much work you put into these FOTMcast. Like, you pulled clips. Like, just, I know you're in the FOTM Hall of Fame, but I want you to know how much I appreciate this. Like,
Labor of love. Labor of love. Always a pleasure.
I loved I love doing this every quarter with you guys. Maybe we get it under 3 hours. I don't know.
I think we can do that.
Or if not, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Once a quarter.
Yeah.
Like I know where to be.
Yeah, exactly. Friday night. What else are we going to do?
Which one of you two, or both of you, if I can find another one, but which one of you two is going to wield the bat? Or is it too dark to even know?
Right.
Like, it's a dark photo.
Might be too dark.
Yeah. Next time.
Hey, there was one thing I was going to throw in.
Go ahead.
I've been working on an impression that I wanted to share.
Oh.
And this is FOTM Andy Frost. And he's about to take a call. He used to host Leafs Talk after the Leafs game. This is Andy Frost about to take a call on Leafs Talk. Go ahead, sir.
That was good.
Thank you.
Wow.
You saved the best for last.
Yeah, there we go.
That was incredible.
I'd be leading with that. That's good.
By the way, this is a fun fact for everybody. Assembling a silent pod takes less effort than finding the last free meeting room on a Monday morning. These silent pods, I'm just saying, if you need to get some space, some private space, some dynamic, creative space,
always
talk to Doug Mills from Blue Sky Agency. Okay, he's Doug at blueskyagency.ca. And you guys got your measuring tapes. We shouted out Ridley Funeral Home, but recyclemyelectronics.ca, you know that's where you go with those old cables. Right, Cam?
Of course.
And that... I'm exhausted. Like, I'm actually drained, exhausted. I have a 9-year-old girl I'm responsible for
Running wild
upstairs that I've
upstairs.
neglected for like fucking 4 hours.
I'm sure she's fine.
I think she's fine too, but her mother calls multiple times and I don't answer.
That's probably not great.
Like, what?
She
an
knows what
ass-
you're doing too. Like it's
Well, she's like, he's not doing this for 4 hours.
She should get on the live stream if she wants to
That's
communicate
true.
with you.
Yeah. She can go to the live stream and see what's going on over here.
It's like when Zach Morris called his dad on the cell phone. He's like, "Is this the only way I can get a hold of you?"
Yeah.
Like they're in the same room.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, powerful.
Saved by the Bell is where Tori Spelling got her start.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,774th show. 74 for Tyler and I. I'm so out of gas. Can I get through this outro? Go to TorontoMike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. Much love to all who made this possible. That's patrons like you. Go to patreon.com/Toronto Mike and become a member today. I'm actually posting there. Great Lakes Brewery. You guys got some fresh craft beer. Palma Pasta. You got a lasagna too. Nick Iones is back. My goodness gracious. Nick Iones is back, baby. RecycleMyElectronics.ca, Blue Sky Agency, and Ridley Funeral Home. See you all next week when my special guest opens his Google Calendar to reveal, because I have no fucking clue. Come on, Mike, you're running out of song. Why won't Google load? Where's my internet? Hold on.
Loop it. Loop the song.
Leslie Spit Trio's own Laura Hubert. See you all then.
That's exciting.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. That was insane.